Live from on the ground in India. SEN Test Cricket. India versus Australia.
It's the taken! It's a moving sprint.
Over the wicket at him. He bowled him!
Down towards Lalor and it'll clear the ropes.
Left on the pad. They're up. He's out. That is Test cricket at its finest. Kohli stands his ground straight down the ground. He lifted it up. That is a shot of an emperor.
For Tyre Power, your tyre experts. Live from India. Welcome to SEN Test Cricket. India versus Australia.
Good morning and welcome back to SEN Test Cricket, live from India for Henley Homes by Henley, completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au, and for Tyre Power, know your tyres. And welcome back to the Holcar Stadium here in Indoor for what I expect will be 90 of the most watched and listened to minutes of Test cricket away from home for Australia in modern memory. The old adage goes that life isn't meant to be easy. Well, in India, you can take that a step further. Nothing ever is easy here, be that on the cricket field or beyond. So be under no illusion about what a target of 76 represents, especially on a pitch that resembles the moon surface. Doubly so with a couple of fellas named Ashwin and Jadeja, with the bit between their teeth determined to conjure up a miracle. But this won't be the first time over the last couple of days that Australia have needed to take a deep breath and hold their nerve. They did on afternoon one when batting looked impossible. They did again for the first hour of play yesterday, and they absolutely did in the final session on day two. Stunning catches from Khawaja and Smith, ensuring they aren't chasing plenty more on this third morning. Not to mention the bowling of Nathan Lyon, perhaps his finest performance for Australia away from home, snaring 8 for 64. It was that group of senior players who said before arriving in India how much this series meant. So after the devastation of blowing their chance at Delhi, this is the morning to set things straight and win just their second test in India since 2004. But make no mistake, there'll be nothing easy about it. I'm Adam Collins, and with me to begin our broadcast, as ever, is Bharat Sundaresan and the Australian's new chief cricket correspondent, Peter Lalor. Gents, good morning. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And Pete, I don't expect Steve Smith, the acting captain, did a lot of sleeping last night.
I arrived at the ground early, but not as early as Steve Smith. I found him in deep meditation, looking like Rodin's thinker, bent over his bat on a length, just staring at, almost like he was frozen, cast in bronze, at those patches where the ball will be landing outside his off stump. He then went through the customary later, sort of seemed to break out of that sort of coma state and sort of went through his usual Steve Smith routines. But no, he wouldn't have slept well. The Australians, well, what sort of state of mind will they be in? There's a sense of sullen resignation coming to the ground. Indian fans aren't happy. I was talking to some of the street sellers and I told them that India was going to lose, and they didn't laugh as they normally do. I've been to, I think, 14 tests, 16 tests possibly, 16 in the last 20 years in India. My first impressions were false ones. Australia won that 2004 series, and I thought, oh yeah, you can win in India. It's doable. It's difficult, but it's doable. It's a task that became increasingly more difficult as Indian cricket rose and Indian pitches declined. I was talking about that with some senior Indian batsmen last night, and they say they would have hated to bat in conditions like these. They said that maybe once in their whole career they saw a wicket like this. We have three possibilities in front of us, don't we? I think we can exclude the chance that there's no result. Only a natural or unnatural disaster would lead to that. So the three possibilities are all exhilarating. Well, to win, that's something else. There's been one win in 18 years by an Australian team. To lose, dare I say it, would be extraordinary.
It'd be the lowest score not chased in a fourth innings in Test history. 85 was the previous, or is the record, I say the previous record, the record from 1882 at the Oval. Brett, I mean, what I am seeing in front of me is a bloke called Ravi Ashwin. Yeah. He's been bowling for 45 minutes. He's been landing them in the proverbial shoebox, over the wicket, round the wicket, over the wicket, round the wicket. I mean, you know Ashwin well. If anybody is going to have the self-belief that they can do something extraordinary, absurd, record-breaking, it's going to be that guy.
Oh, absolutely. And look, the rest of the Indian team has been indulging themselves in some foot volleyball, as they do. They have these brown-coloured chairs, almost grey-coloured chairs, and Virat Kohli loves anything to do with soccer or a round ball, which isn't a cricket ball. And you can see he's really been enjoying himself. But Ashwin doesn't indulge in all this on most days. But today in particular, you're right. They have those markers on the side wickets. They know what lens that they're aiming for. And Ashwin's just wheeling away. He's in rhythm. He's ready. And just to add to the sullen mood around the ground, Pete Lalor, we don't even get breakfast today because the corporates have vacated their box.
Is that right?
They have, like, down our commentary box area from this end. We've been stealing some breakfast and lunch, so we'll have to go fend for ourselves. I stole a cup of tea from the broadcasters, but that's how it is. And yeah, I mean, even speaking, like you said, like speaking to some former Indian cricketers, they're shocked by this pitch. I spoke to one, and he said, I've seen so many day 5 pitches in India, first class cricket and test cricket. None have looked worse than what this one looks like on day 3.
The predicament for Australia, I suppose, Pete, is that if they go out with, let's call it positive intent, it's a bit of double speak there, that is to say, if they appear like they've attacked this recklessly and it all goes horribly wrong, then, well, you can imagine what the recriminations will be like. But the other side of it is if they try and bat conservatively and nudge their way to 76, in all probability, this will become at some stage a scrap because we just know what this surface is doing. When you're trying to hold on for dear life, it doesn't last too long. So they are a little bit betwixt and between. In saying that, Travis Head, if he can bat for half an hour the way that Travis Head is, and the way he's built, the way he's hardwired, they'll be most of the way to 76.
They will be. And look, let's take a deep breath ourselves. We've got Usman Khawaja up there, who's batting very well. Marnus Labuschagne, who's due and has looked good at times in this series. Stephen Smith, who's probably the best batsman in the world. There's some very good talent at that Australian top order. It's experienced talent too. Unlikely to lose its head because it so recently did in Delhi that I think it's learned the lessons from that. But predictions are not my forte. In fact, I'm not sure what is my forte. I'm still searching for that.
Looking smart is your forte, Pete Lalor, and sounding smart as well. But I thought, before we get immersed into what Australia have to do today, we should touch upon how extraordinary Steve Smith was as captain yesterday. One of his best days as captain. And Ravi Shastri, our colleague, wrote in The Age last week that because, I mean, his thoughts and prayers were with Pat Cummins and his family, but he felt that Steve Smith being captain could help Australia because he knows these conditions, and just the way he never let the game drift. I think most visiting captains who come here, or every visiting captain, can learn from how Steve Smith led his charges. Nathan Lyon also bowled really well, and look, I think for Steve Smith and Nathan Lyon, this could well be their last test too. Now, we know that they can't win a series here, but what they have done is left a mark, left an impression with how well they did yesterday as captain and bowler.
So there's the Australian approach that which will play out in the fullness of time. Then there's the interest. I mentioned in the intro that I reckon there'll be more eyeballs on this and more ears listening to our coverage today and around the coverage that's being broadcast around the world than maybe any away Australian test I can remember, because most of the time when Australia are playing England and it's tense and it's captivating, it's the middle of the night. I mean, my sense is that all of Australia are watching and listening to this, and that's partly a function of what happened at Nagpur and Delhi, but also there has been a bit of pride restored in Australian cricket, I reckon, Pete, over the last couple of days, because they have hung tough when they've needed to, losing 6 for 11 yesterday and then walking out and bowling out India in 2 sessions. I mean, you've got to be made of tough stuff to do that.
Yeah, you do, and no coincidence, as you astutely pointed out, that there were 3 key players in that, weren't there? Obviously, Nathan Lyon, I think his greatest ever bowling performance.
I agree.
He was the GOAT. He's gone up another level. You can't be better than a GOAT, I guess. The Smith catch. Only Smith could catch it, and how ironic that it comes after a couple of days ago we were discussing his sort of poor performances in slips and his physical indispositions. Then the Khawaja catch, that just came out of nowhere. We've seen it once before in Adelaide when he grabbed Virat Kohli. But that is not an athletic man. That is not a guy with sort of natural fielding abilities. And in fact, a guy who's often been criticised for his abilities in the field and questioned about his eyesight and all manner of things. But all 3 stood up. And the other guy, right out of, it sort of doesn't fit into that Venn diagram, was Cameron Green. That catch on the boundary was as cool as a cucumber. Looking into the sun, right up on the boundary, huge moment. And he hung onto it.
And it just smothered them, didn't it? Because that's Umesh Yadav, who can be a six-hitter. It meant 2 wickets. Well, it's effectively 3 wickets in 3 balls, but one was overturned the leg before. But that's the moment when India go from being in a position where a lead of, say, 120, 130 is more than viable with Pujara out there. He's caught in the leg side trap, as you described there, Pete, one of the all-time great leg slip catches, I think. And then Cameron Green, tallest man in the field, taking it above his head. I'm not saying that Travis Head wouldn't have held on as the shortest man either, but it stood out that he's such a big man looking into the sun. They've talked about controlling the controllables, that old cliche, Bharat, through the series. Well, the way they fielded yesterday ticked that box.
Oh, exactly. And, he just... It felt like he was just picking an orange from a tree, the way he just hung onto that catch. And you could see that he immediately turned to his teammates and said, I didn't sight that ball really well. He put his shades behind his head. It came at a time where a lot of teams, I've seen visiting teams come here in panic. That was one. And you spoke about the Khawaja catch, but again, a masterstroke from Steve Smith. It wasn't a wicket-taking delivery from Mitchell Starc, but when Shreyas Iyer started going, what Steve Smith did is slow the pace down, and that's why he brought Mitchell Starc on. Not just so that Starc could get him a wicket, but so that he could get Shreyas Iyer to think. Because so many times things just go away from you very quickly in India, and he didn't let that happen.
It's a great point, Bharat. Pete, as well. Thank you for your contributions so far this morning. We'll hear from you in what will be the first and final session on day 3 here at Indoor. The weather, which we do every day for Kubota, shaping and building Australia. You won't be surprised to learn, Pete, as always, 26 now, a top of 33. Must be the easiest job in the world being a meteorologist in this part of the world. Kubota, together we are shaping and building Australia. The target is 76. The task ahead of the visiting Australians to win their first test in this country since 2017 and their second since 2004. Our coverage is for Henley Homes by a Henley completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au. And for Tyre Power, know your tyres. On the other side of the break, Daniel Norcross will be in conversation with Louis Cameron and Phil Long.
For Henley Completed Homes, now selling in Officer and Calcalo, henley.com.au. And Tyre Power, your tyre experts. India versus Australia on SEN Test Cricket.
I think it matters what the totals are, 4th innings, particularly in sort of wickets like this where they're probably they're probably starting like a day 3 wicket on day 1. So yeah, it's certainly not going to be an easy chase. I think we've got to really apply ourselves, particularly in that first hour tomorrow. But no, look, it was a really good day for us today, and hopefully we can back it up first thing tomorrow.
That was Mitchell Starc talking to Adam Collins yesterday on SEN Test Cricket for Henley Homes by a Henley completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au. I'm Daniel Norcross. Alongside me is Louis Cameron. And I'm delighted to say we've got Phil Young with us, thanks to Fuso trucks. Fuso canters are in stock now. Job done. Phil, we've got to talk some numbers. We will do that shortly. But firstly, I want to pick up, Louis, on what was being talked about before the break, about that extraordinary catch that Steve Smith took. And I saw a little tweet that you put out saying that this is no coincidence that he managed to pull off that grab. Why is that?
Well, he's been catching a lot in the break between these second and third tests, and I actually wrote last night that, in theory, you would have thought a 10-day break between these tests should have really benefited India a lot more. They got to go home, they got to spend time with their loved ones, but what the Aussies did, Steve Smith went to Dubai, he came back, some of them played golf, they did all sorts of different things. When they got back to training in Delhi, they went to the stadium that they'd just been rolled for. They lost 8 for 28 at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. They probably would never have wanted to go back there, but they did. They got in the nets, and one of the things Steve Smith did, along with a couple of the others, was they dragged a metal barricade that I'm pretty sure they use for traffic control around the ground. So it's a very kind of flimsy metal kind of table, rectangular table thing. They set that up in front of a pitch roller, got someone to throw the ball, to bounce the ball off the metal barricade, and then it would hit the pitch roller and go off at a different angle. It's not absolute rocket science, but he spent a lot of time. They loved the drill. Like, it worked perfectly. You know, people listen who play club cricket at home, you know, once you get onto that drill that's just fun, it recreates the style of backyard cricket or something like that. These guys loved it. They did it for hours. And maybe it's no coincidence that he took a remarkable catch yesterday.
And it really was a remarkable catch. Phil, we've got to talk a little bit about numbers, because the most important number is what Australia need to win, and it's not a lot. But if they do pull it off, we've got to put this into some kind of context. England won in Chennai in 2021. Before that, Pune 2017. How many test matches have India effectively not been beaten in that time?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned those two tests. They were both the first matches of a series that India got turned over. So when, I don't know what are we saying, if or when? If and when Australia win this test match.
Let's go in.
Let's go if.
Don't tempt fate.
If Australia win this test match. It'll be the first time India have lost a test match that isn't the opening test of a series since they lost to England back at Eden Gardens back in December 2012. So we're talking well over 10 years.
And that was a series that England won, of course, but that was when India prepared pitches for spinners to start with and discovered that England's spinners were better than theirs, and that's a very rare scenario.
Yeah, they were outspanned by Monty Panesar and Graham Swan in that series, that's right.
I can't believe you two blokes want to bring up that 2012 series. I'm really surprised sitting here between two Englishmen that the first thing that you bring up before this famous Australian victory is England's series win.
Well, Australia have only won 13 times in India. Test matches in India. They've only won 13 tests. So that's setting the context for what an achievement this is. Let's set that also alongside India's record. Since that England win at Eden Gardens, played 45, lost just 2, drawn 7, won 36. They win games.
Yep.
They don't draw, they win them. So to even get to this stage where Australia have got this chance of winning this game is unusual, almost remarkable.
And one of those draws was, again, against England in the first match of a series when India hadn't quite worked out how they wanted to beat England. And so essentially, I put
it's
it like
not a matter of when, it's how.
It's how. It's how. And that's what fascinates me about modern India, Louis, is that they've got a number of different ways they can go, because they've got a vastly improved pace attack. Obviously, it's struggling without Bumrah at the moment, but they've now got options. So they have prepared incredibly flat decks to out-bat sides. That's how they decided to beat England. That's how they decided to beat England in 2016. Since then, the way they've decided to beat England and Australia is to produce fiercely turning tracks. Now, when India lose this game, will it force a rethink, perhaps, at Ahmedabad?
I think it has to, and they've made no secret that they have, almighty control over these pitches. The way Rohit Sharma spoke before this test about how they're already thinking about producing a green seamer for Ahmedabad to prepare for the World Test Championship final.
Oh dear.
Well, that might be on the back burner, just as an aside. But, yeah, so they are controlling how these pitches are getting played. I think that they'd be far better off, as you mentioned, preparing for flat wickets where their batters, who aren't the greatest players of spin, their records show that the last few years they've really struggled. That, Kohli, Pujara, these guys aren't making lots and lots of runs at home, partially because the wickets are so difficult to bat on. I think they'd be better off preparing nice wickets that will spin on day 4 and 5 and back themselves to beat a team over the journey.
Because what essentially they're doing is equalising the contest, it seems to me. And it's making it a bit more like T20. Because on a day like yesterday, when 2 stellar grabs happen, then you're up against it. Whereas, if Karen Nair can score 300 and rack up 700 against England, you're going to win. Because England's batting will eventually not be as powerful. I suppose the danger is that they look at the Australian batting lineup, they see Smith and Labuschagne, and think, well, a bat off might not be in our best interest. Sorry, Phil.
No, I was briefly going to say, you're exactly right. We're at a test match here. We can see the big scoreboard there ready to go for today. Scores of 109, 197, 163. No one's going to make 200 in this game. I was just looking at it. That's only happened 34 times in the history of Test cricket where no team has reached 200.
Quite a few of those in the 19th century.
Well, yeah, and also there was one last summer, wasn't there? South Africa versus England, a very low-scoring game at the Oval. And as you mentioned, as soon as you bring these low-scoring games in, one lucky innings, can win the game. And that does make it a little bit of a lottery.
Yeah, it does make it a lottery, but what an exciting lottery it might be. I know that one of our number here wants a hat-trick. Oh, you want one more thing? Let's get it quick. It's better be quick.
Very, very quickly. Don't want to be the party pooper, but India will always think they've got a chance in this game. The last 2 innings, Australia have lost their last 6 wickets for 18 and 11.
18 and 11. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it is going to be the last morning of the 3rd Test match.
Our first session for MEGT. MEGT Australia's apprenticeship and employment experts. The Indian players are making their way to the middle following Usman Khawaja and Travis Head. The job ahead of them, a target of 76. The impediments, Ashwin and Jadeja. Adam Collins with you to start our broadcast. Ravi Shastri with me for the first time today. Louis Cameron as well. Ravi, good morning to you.
Morning, Adam. Morning, Lou.
This just feels like it's going to have twists and turns, doesn't it?
It does, and it's going to be a game of attrition in this first half an hour. You know, it should be that way, especially from Australia's point of view. I mean, who drops anchor and who takes charge? I mean, that should be the conversation between Usman Khawaja and Travis Head. I think Khawaja should play his natural game. Head should play his natural game, which is to attack, if he can.
So it's going to be Ashwin taking the first over from our broadcast end, the pavilion end here at Holcast Stadium at Indoor. 3 quick wickets yesterday to set upon the 6 for 11 collapse, which saw Australia bowled out for 197. But they did have a lead of 88. And that has proved sufficient to get them into this position, bowling at India for 163 in the space of a couple of sessions yesterday. It'll surely be Ashwin and Jadeja throughout, Louis.
You would think so, yeah. I mean, they're the senior bowlers, aren't they? So they're going to go to them. They're going to go to them first of all. I mean, Usman Khawaja, it's interesting to see he's opening the batting after spending so long off the field yesterday. He looked back to 100% when he took that catch, though, didn't he?
And a vital role to play. Just his presence in the centre could be comforting for the dressing room, because that's when he occupies the crease. He gives you the impression he soaks the pressure. He's like a sponge, takes it on. So India know that. India will look to try and get him out early.
Play is called by umpire Joel Wilson. Ashwin will start with 2 catches, slip and a silly point. Bowling to Khawaja. First ball of day 3, beats the outside edge. It balloons out of the surface. Explodes out of the surface.
Oh, it's jumped at Khawaja like a spitting cobra. That first ball, what a wake-up call that is.
Perfect seam position. That has gone over the top of Khawaja's gloves, collecting KS Bharat's glove on the way through to Gillett slip. How about that? New ball, Ashwin bowls again, Khawaja. Hits the edge, finds the edge, given! Caught behind Khawaja, second ball of the day. He's thinking about reviewing. Ashwin is elated. They are going to send it upstairs. But the Indians were convinced, Ravi Shastri.
What a first 2 balls you can get, you know.
Front foot check.
And just seeing Khawaja's body language, he's not 100%. The Indians absolutely certain that he's got the edge.
We'll get a first replay. Louis Cameron, talk us through it.
That big square seam from Ravi Ashwin, that's the ball that has caused a lot of issues. And we're looking at the replay, that looks like it's clipped the outside edge. Usman Khawaja didn't look convinced straight away. I mean, if he knew he didn't hit it, he wouldn't have reviewed. He would have reviewed, you know, as soon as possible. But
and we're getting the ultra edge here. He's hit it. Yeah. He's hit it. Usman Khawaja is going to be walking for a second ball duck, and he knows it. He's departing Holcast Stadium. Australia are 1 for none. We said this wouldn't be easy, and with Ashwin starting like this, anything is possible for India. Absolute perfection from the veteran. He's irrepressible.
Irrepressible when you start like that with that first ball that takes off. If someone in the dressing room has gone into the toilet and is sitting on that toilet seat, he'll jump up hearing the roar in the dressing room. Let me assure you that. And then the second ball, a wicket goes, he'll be out of that toilet in a hurry.
And you just wonder how much that first ball played on his mind. Like, the playing inside the ball is one thing, but when you've just been beaten by so much, you've got that ball in your mind, and you might have just been fending just a touch more than you would have otherwise.
Absolutely.
So it's Marnus Labuschagne. He made 31 the first time around, with huge helpings of luck along the way. He's joining Travis Head down the non-striker's end, and the test is going to be Ashwin round the wicket with a new ball turning it square, exploding out of the surface. Goodness me. What a couple of hours we have ahead of us here.
Yeah, and you forgot Jadeja at the other end, round the wicket, turning the odd one, and a lot of them hitting the pads as well. Oh, this is going to be fascinating.
And Ravi, you talked about playing your natural game, and and that's easy to do when you're none down, or if you're none for 30, chasing 70.
Absolutely.
When you lose a couple of early wickets, how much harder is that to do?
Oh, it's much harder. Outside pressure just builds. Things that shouldn't be in your mind start appearing.
So an early big moment for Bendix, the best known breaks for India. Ashwin in, 2 catches on the leg side. Labuschagn's first ball goes back and defends out towards mid-wicket. So the fielder slip a leg, slip short leg. Catching mid-wicket, man around the corner on the 45. Deep square and long on outside of the circle, mid-off and a backward point.
Well, it's going to be a squeeze. Let me assure you, it's going to be a squeeze. Each run has to be earned here. You will get the odd boundary, but it's a test of one's character, temperament. If you're a batsman out there for Australia, and the Indians will try and be as patient as they can.
Ashwin to Labuschagne. Delivers here wider of the crease, round the wicket. Labuschagne deflects into the onside just in front of the man at short leg, Shreyas Iyer.
Wow, what a first 4 balls. Really, on the money. Ashwin, balls bouncing and turning already.
They just need to chill here, Australia. Ashwin all over them to begin. 5th ball of the day. Away from us, delivers here. Labuschagne forward again. That's good. Out in front of it.
And the difference with Ashwin is when he gets a wicket in the first over. He's a different bowler. Like he got Travis Head in Delhi with the 2nd or 3rd ball caught behind. Very similar fashion taken by Bharat.
And a word for KS Bharat. 2nd ball, first one exploded, 2nd one didn't. Got him behind it, took it cleanly. Great wicket keeping. Ashwin again, bowls to Labuschagne. He goes back and defends the final ball of the first over of this 3rd day. A wicket maiden. Labuschagne there with Head. Usman Khawaja. If you just joining the broadcast out for a 2nd ball duck, caught behind, Ashwin away. Our coverage is for Henley Homes by a Henley completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au, and that's all on the K-Rain Irrigation scoreboard. And a shout out to our listeners in the UK on TalkSport 2. Why wouldn't you get up early to listen to the denouement of this thrilling test match? It's going to be over inside 7 sessions, but we won't forget any of them. Travis Head's turn, Louis, and we've spoken a lot in the pre-game about the probability of him really going for it here.
And it's been a tumultuous tour for him. I mean, he was shocked to be left out of the first test side. He said that he spoke to selectors and that it was a robust conversation, which I take to mean, Ravi, that he gave the selectors a piece of his mind. I'm sure you would know what that's like to speak to a player who's been dropped.
I think the whole Indian dressing room was shocked when he wasn't playing. See, you've got to pick players on current form. Forget about what they've done in the past. It's current form that's important. Current form can get them to overcome whatever hurdle is in front of them, irrespective of where they're playing. It's a mental state of mind. You've got to play on the mental state of mind. If he's hot, play him.
I guess the innings that he had in Asia the previous year, I think last year was nine innings for an average of about 16. He didn't pass 20, but he'd absolutely dominated Australian summers, the last 2 Australian summers. And as we've seen, guys can improve against spin. Usman Khawaja, the first time he came here, was hopeless against spin. He's worked on it and he's gone away and improved his game.
Jadeja to start from the northern end. Left arm around the Travis Head 3 in close. He does clip initially out to deep square leg where there is a fielder position. So Head showing intent from the outset. He's won Australia 1 for 1. So the field, a slipper leg, slipper short leg, catching mid-wicket.
Very clear. Head showing where his head is at the moment. And that is to attack. He's not going to waste time. If he gets an opportunity, he's going to give it the full Monty.
So for Labuschagne, they'll go with 2 slips and a silly point. No catcher on the leg side. A man out at deep point. For one sweeper protecting the rope. No one on the leg side. We've seen Labuschagne look to play that slog sweep off Jadeja through the series. Would he be so bold here? They've left a huge gap for it. 7-2 field. Jadeja, 21 wickets in the series at 11. Takes his wickets at 19 at home. The old firm vying to be a spinner of the series for Lumo Energy. Well bowled Lumo Energy. Jadeja gets his first crack here at Marnus Labuschagne. Rohit just tweaking the field a wee bit here. He wants the deep point to come in, so no sweepers. Inviting attacking play from Australia's number 3.
This might be the slowest over Jadeja's bowled all series.
His whole life. So they're finally set. Jadeja in, bowls here. Labuschagne round the wicket, tucks him round the corner. No run to Akshar Patel on the 45.
He's brought a man in, but he's in the middle of nowhere. Can't understand that position because he'll still get a single if the ball goes to him. He's not saving the boundary.
To the crease, bowls again. Going back is Labuschagne, finding the gap behind point, getting a precious boundary. A pressure release there for Australia. Too short from Jadeja, and with deep point up, there was no doubt where that was going. Our boundaries for Blunston, right on with Blunston, Australia, 1 for 5.
Deep point back now, for sure.
It's exactly what Ravi was talking about. If he'd stayed back there, he probably just would have got 1 there. But instead, they've got 4, and every run is absolutely crucial here.
So point goes back. Jadeja delivers. Labuschagne forward defending to Shreyas Iyer at silly point. On the bounce, Jadeja hands on head. Bit of extra bounce out of the surface. 71 to win. And they won't be able to do this in singles either. This is a game that's going to require some counter-attack at some stage. Jadeja bowls, Labuschagne forward once more. Good in defence.
It's little partnerships here. That's what Australia should be thinking. 15-run partnership, 20-run partnerships. We need three of them, and they'll be through.
Jadeja past umpire Menon, delivers to Labuschagne, beaten outside the off-stump. That's turned loads to finish the second over. Australia 1 for 5 on the K-Rain irrigation scoreboard. Labuschagne 4, head on 1, 71 to win.
Good afternoon. A truck's broken down on the Monash Freeway outbound at Narre Warren North Road. The left-hand lane is closed with traffic building back towards Eastlink. There's also been an incident out in Blackburn on Middleborough Road northbound past the Eastern Freeway. And if you're out on the Westgate, traffic building outbound from the Balti to the Ring Road Princes Merge and inbound from the bridge to the Burnley. This March, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. With 24 stores located in Melbourne, they'll look after you. T's and C's apply. That's the latest SEN Sky Traffic.
Our first session for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship and employment experts. Drop us a text, 043390 1116. Australian fans, how are you feeling watching this or listening to this around the country? Nervous, I suspect. Ashwin in here to head. First crack at him. Round the wicket, head goes back. Punches to Rohit Sharma, an extra cover, no single. Adam Collins, Ravi, Shastri, Louis Cameron with you on the call. So again, head looking to force there to begin. Ashwin delivers, head goes back shorter, tries to whip it away, doesn't get all of it, ends at backward point, no run.
They're the shots that have got some of the Australians into trouble in this test and this series, going back on pitches where you can't trust the bounce. That can bring Bold and LBW into play.
And that did hold up in the surface as well. Ashwin again, head goes forward in defence. Might have been pad bat, that's what Kohli thought, but no appeal from Ashwin.
Yeah, that's a good point from Louis, because I'm watching Labuschagne when he comes on strike. How much he plays off the back foot. He's been trapped on the back foot, bowl, leg before, right through the series.
Ashwin in, away from us, bowls here, head, plays and misses. Having a waft outside the off stump, tried to place it, thread it through the covers where it's a bolstered field. A couple of fielders in that direction, so a shot that had some risk applied to it, but it just spun too much.
This is beautiful bowling. Plenty of guile, there's dip on the ball.
Ashwin perfect so far to head, who's forward defending, pushing the backward point outside part of the blade.
He's just working him over here. This is just masterful bowling, isn't it? Ashwin is just absolutely on top of his game.
And we saw Ashwin before play. I noted in the pre-game, he bowled over the wicket, round the wicket, over the wicket, round the wicket for 45 minutes, did not stop bowling. And the look at his eye as well, he believes, he always believes.
And maybe with a point to prove after he didn't bowl for the whole first hour yesterday. I was very surprised at that.
Very surprised.
It was a great change for Rohit when he got him on. Has a chat with the captain before the final ball of the third over. Delivers here, head, beaten again outside the off stump. An expansive drive that wasn't quite. End of another maiden from Ashwin. Australia 1 for 5, 71 runs away from their target. There's a review first though.
Fair delivery.
So they'll get the 2 for 1 here. As Australia did a few times yesterday, they'll check for the edge, which almost certainly wasn't there. We'll get a look at that first. An explosion out of the pitch. He's missed it by a mile.
Yeah, he's fine with the back foot as well.
Okay, clearly missed the ball.
He's missed it by 6 inches.
Can we go to the best side on angle, please?
He's okay with that back foot as well.
So it'll be the end of the over on the K-Rain irrigation scoreboard. when they confirm it's not out on the stumping. We won't be able to take a break.
Okay,
because Jadeja's already ready to
big
roll.
screen. Foot is clearly grounded.
It'll be confirmed as not out. Our first session for MEGT, Australia's Apprenticeship and Employment Experts. And our coverage for Tyre Power, Know Your Tyres. Not out now on the screen, and Jadeja prepares to set off in the fourth over of the day. Labuschagne struck a boundary off Jadeja to get going. He's on 4. So just 2 on the leg side. Huge gap between mid-on and short fine. And Labuschagne looks in that direction to the western side of the ground, where most of the fans are in. Jadeja around the wicket. Labuschagne does place it to mid-wicket for a single. That's great batting. Turning the strike over, moving to 5, 1 for 6, Ravi.
Yeah, importantly, he rotates the strike. And I think from Australia's point of view, Travis Head's point of view, the opportunity to score runs is more against Jadeja for the left-hander. So it's better he's at this end.
Jadeja to Head. Round the wicket, Head gets forward and defends. The Indians are interested in getting one past that inside edge, not far away. Head under the pump, 1 from 8, but not looking likely as yet. Jadeja straight back to his mark. The pressure's on. Bowls again. Head back. Just gets a little bottom edge on it. As you identified, Louis Cameron, if you go back on a pitch like this, you're doing so with your heart in your mouth.
When you defend, I think you give yourself a chance. So going back is one thing, but Travis Head actually did really well there, I reckon, because he wasn't trying to force the ball through the offside. He stayed low on it, and he made sure that his bat could come down just in time.
And you need a vertical bat. You know, you don't need a horizontal bat shot.
Saved by the Q end of the bat. Jadeja to Head forward this time, turning it into the onside. There's a sweeper at deep square. They get a single. Pressure release for Head, even with 1. He's 2, 1 for 7 Australia, 2 left in the over.
Important when you play off the back foot here. The reason I say horizontal bat shot as opposed to a vertical bat shot, it's simply because you got to look to punch it with a straight bat as much as possible because of the uneven bounce, like Kohli found out yesterday.
Jadeja. Another crack at Labuschagne. Round the wicket, Labuschagne well forward, smothering the spin. He started well.
And going back to what Ravi said, it is so hard for Australian batsmen to train themselves to do that, because Travis Head would have seen that ball a million times playing in Adelaide and would have cut it every time. Whereas when he comes to India, that ball's hitting the bottom of his middle stump.
Absolutely.
Jadeja to finish to Labuschagne, forward again, deflecting to second slip, taken well by Shubman Gill, diving to his right after hitting the turf. End of the over, 4 gone. 1 for 7 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires. Heads on 2, Labuschagne 5. Australia requires 69 to win.
It's Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. Mitsubishi 1010, you can count on it. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply. See a Mitsubishi dealer for details.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Thank you for voting Beaumont Tiles #1. You want great prices, range and awesome quality? Get that and 20% off floor tiles. Yes, 20% off our massive range of floor tiles when you choose Beaumont's. Your #1. Beaumont's.
SEN Test Cricket for Henley Homes by Henley, completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, Henley.com.au, and for Tyre Power, Know Your Tyres. Our first session for MEGT, Australia's Apprenticeship and Employment Experts. Ashwin again, into Head, round the wicket on 2. He goes back and defends. That's okay. Trusting the bounce so far, the South Australian. He's got 3 on the leg side. Couple of catches on the offside behind the wicket. Ashwin bounces in, bowls here. Head well forward, struck on the pad, albeit a delivery that's sliding down the leg side. That's the one that goes on with the arm.
Yes, and beautiful deception here from Ashwin. The pace, the way he's varying his pace, flight as well. Keeping the batsman honest, keeping the fielders close and honest.
Yet to concede a run from 14 deliveries, Ashwin. Up again, bowls here. Travis Head forward, edging on the bounce to second slip. It deflects away to backward point, no run. So the straight one, then the off break, Louis.
But he's just such a fantastic new ball bowler in these conditions. I mean, to be able to grip the ball the way he does and to be able to get the variation of turn, using the shiny side of the ball, using the seam of the ball, he's just a master.
And some serious revs on the ball, giving him the drift.
Ashwin past Joel Wilson. Get the feeling he'll be part of today as well. Bowls here, edged and doesn't go anywhere. Maybe off the glove. It lands in front of second slip at short point. No silly point in position at this stage.
Already clear signs the 76 is like 150 on any other surface, if not more.
Watching the replay back here for Beaumont Tiles, Australia's favourite. How about the bounce? I mean, good luck playing that. It's hit him on the, not even the glove, it's hit him on the back shoulder.
I mean, it's nearly half volley and he's missed it by a mile, as you would say.
Ashwin to head back, trying to cut, hacks it down to cover. That was the ball to score from. One left in the over.
Yeah, that's a scoring ball. It had at least 2 or 4 written on it.
Head's got to hold his nerve here. He's on the ropes. Ashwin, last ball of the over. Still got those 2 slips. No catches in front of the wicket. Bowls here, head forward, defending. Better, gets 1. Down to long off. He'll retain the strike. Heads 3 from 16. Australia 1 for 8 at the end of the over on the K-Rain irrigation scoreboard. They require 68 to win.
Did you leave your front door open? With Honey Home Insurance, you'd know. Get home and contents insurance policies with smart home sensors included at honeyinsurance.com. T's and C's apply.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Thank you for voting Beaumont Tiles number 1. You want great prices, range and awesome quality? Get that and 20% off floor tiles. Yes, 20% off our massive range of floor tiles when you choose Beaumont's. You're number 1. Beaumont's.
Our coverage is for Tyre Power. Kumo tyres at wicket-taking prices. Getting lots of texts in on 0433 98 11 16 and feedback down the line from Melbourne as well. Our production team, 10% of the way there, says Mitch Scott, head of cricket for SEN. He's riding the bumps. Everyone in Australia is.
That's the line I'm going to use when I go on television. 12% now. It's coming to you live from Mitch in Melbourne.
Mouse on the text saying, I'm not holding my breath. I still have nightmares about Cape Town in 2011 and Trent Bridge in 2015. Thanks, Mouse. Jadeja bowls new over. Travis Head plays defensively out towards mid-wicket. No run. Message here from, well, without a name, I'm more nervous than Bob Willis facing Jeff Thompson at his peak. Michelle's enjoying the coverage. She's a nervous wreck. Nathan said he's got to go up to his psychologist soon. He's doing some uni work and can't focus on his paper at all. The psychologist place to be. Bowling here, round the corner, drops. He clips in the direction of Shreyas Iyer, Travis Head, and I reckon that's carried.
Yeah, it does.
We saw Australia take a brilliant catch in that region yesterday. That might be an early miss from India. We're going to replay the Beaumont Tiles, Australia's favourite. Talk us through it, Louis Cameron.
Well, he was so close there, so he gave himself a chance to catch it. But the difficult thing was to react as quick as he did. I reckon it might have just come off his thigh pad, Adam.
Could have been a couple of noises. I'm sure they would have sent it upstairs had it been taken and given not out. Nevertheless, it is a leg by according to the umpire. 67 to win. Labuschagne back on strike. 2 slips, silly point. Jadeja round the wicket. Labuschagne back and beaten. Tried to thread the needle behind point. We're deep in the crease. A bit of extra bounce again.
Yeah, it's a nothing shot. It really is a nothing shot. Only thing he can get out of that is a nick or an edge into the slip cordon. Point is back. He's not going to get too many.
Didn't read the bounce at all. Seeing it on our replay screen for Beaumont Tiles, Australia's favourite. Well away from it. Jadeja to Labuschagne forward. Bat and pad close together. Jadeja hands on his man bun.
And already you have about 7,000, 10,000 people in the ground. I think everyone's on an intermittent fasting diet. No one's eaten breakfast. They've eaten dinner last night and they've come up early to watch the first ball. Just black coffee and watch it.
If the wickets start falling, I'm sure the crowd will start pouring in. If India do pull this off, unlikely as it is, even from here, it'll be the best result ever in a 4th innings. The lowest score not chased, 85, back in 1882 at the Oval. Jadeja bowls, Labuschagne lunging forward, smothering the spin. That seems like a better approach to me, Louis.
Yeah, I think getting forward, and if you do go back, as Ravi talked about, play with the straight bat. The mistake he made earlier in the over was just that half horizontal, half vertical, and it gets you in so much trouble against Jadeja.
Rohit Sharma has a chat to his spinner. So much experience, 34 years of age. Jadeja bowls, Labuschagne forward, pushing to mid-wicket, should be one. Jadeja charging around. The old indoor cricket backhand flick towards the stumps. But heads comfortably through. End of the over, Australia into double digits. They're 1 for 10 after 6 overs. 66 runs to go. Labuschagne 6, Head on 3 on the K-Rain irrigation scoreboard.
Good afternoon. afternoon, there's been a crash out on the Westgate inbound before Todd Road. 2 right-hand lanes are currently closed down. A truck that's broken down on the Monash outbound at Narre Warren North Road also has the left lane closed there. Finally, an incident in Blackburn on Middleborough Road northbound past the Eastern Freeway, and reports of an incident on the Ring Road Greensborough bound before the Greensborough bypass. Tomorrow night, the Burnley Tunnel will be closed from 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. Sunday for works to help ease congestion and improve your travel. Visit the linked Melbourne website for detour information. That's the latest SEN Sky Traffic.
Our first session for MEGT, Australia's Apprenticeship and Employment Experts. How about this text? FJ in Richmond, in a car with my mates heading to a wedding that starts in an hour. I think we're going to miss the wedding, he says. Perfectly relatable and understandable, FJ. Weddings can start late, believe me. And I don't think the wedding party will mind a jot if they see this to the end. And listen to it on SEN Test Cricket for Tyre Power. Know your tyres. Ashwin, perfect so far.
You reckon the South Bank and the Yarra busy?
Oh, tell you what.
Some liquid going down?
You'd hope so. Ashwin in. Labuschagne on strike, goes back and defends. There's a slow clap every ball now you can hear as well. All eyes on India's number 1. The number 2 bowler in the world. Charging towards 500 test wickets.
Come on, Ash.
Slip, leg slip, short leg. Come on, Ash comes the roar from behind the wicket. He bowls here. Labuschagne forward, prodding out towards backward point. Shubham Gill does the fielding at slip. Well played again, though.
And a longish discussion between Rohit and Virat Kohli between overs there. It looked like Virat might have been signalling towards the boundary fielders.
To just make them go a little squarer.
2 out on the leg side, deep square and long on. Ashwin bowls, and he beats Labuschagne with the one that slides across him, as he's done for a dozen years. Hits the fleshy side of the ball. Labuschagne caught on the crease, ever so close to a second outside edge of the morning. Ravi, Shastri.
Oh, this is already a masterclass from Ashwin. He's bowled barely 20 balls, less than 20 balls, but there's everything there.
Ashwin passes umpire Wilson, bowls here. Labuschagne edging nearly 5 pad, possibly over short leg regardless.
Yeah, important that Louis noticed that Rohit Sharma having a chat with Virat Kohli. It's so important you get the fielders in the right place. So he sent long on a little squarer because of the angles, because of the ball turning as much as it is. It is not your usual long on. It will have to go to the right. Another 5 yards, 6 yards, as would deep mid wicket. So they've all moved a little squarer.
It'll take some doing, striking a boundary here for Blunston. Right on with Blunston, that's for sure. Ashwin, 2 left in the over, bowls to Labuschagne. Down the leg slip, taken by Kohli. Up goes the appeal. I think it was thigh pad. Umpire Wilson keeps his finger down. Kohli says there's 2 noises. Kohli's convincing Rohit Sharma. Up to the captain he goes. Shreyas Iyer as well says you should do it, skipper, and he does. He makes the T sign. Ravi, Shastri, what do you reckon?
I'm not too sure about Marnus's body language.
Director, we have a player review
You
from
normally
court.
know
Original decision
from a
is
batsman
not
whether
out.
he's
Front foot
hit it or
check, it's a
not.
fair delivery. Can we have spin vision?
So it was Kohli away to his right, got a good look at it. Took it easily in the end. First replay here, Louis. What do you make of it? Ball pitching.
Ashwin is fired up here. We're seeing a massive puff of dust off the turf. I reckon he's missed
Just keep
that.
that rolling through, please. Ball's
I think
close
he's
to the
missed
glove. May have just clipped the top of the pad.
It's definitely hit his
Could
pad
we
on the
get
way through.
ultra edge
And also
unavailable,
the
please?
glove, the top finger of the bottom glove. I wonder
Keep
whether
it
it's
rolling
kissed
through,
that.
please.
Here's
Keep it
ultra
rolling through,
edge,
please. Yeah.
and
Clear
there
gap.
is
Keep it rolling
no
through,
spike.
please. Keep it rolling through.
Labuschagne survives.
Ashwin was fired up there. And there's been a lot of discussion
No
between the
batting
2 teams, particularly
Joel,
from
you can
Marnus
stay with
to
your original
Jadeja
decision
to
of
Ashwin.
not
And
out.
just
You're
looked
on
like
screen
Ashwin
single
was
now.
not enjoying the banter coming back from Marnus on that occasion. I think Marnus is probably saying, don't waste your review, guys. I haven't hit that.
So India have blown one there. Confirmed as not out. 1 ball left in the probing Ashwin over. They're all probing Ashwin overs. Labuschagne 6 from 21. 2 catches in the leg side trap. Down the leg side again. Kohli takes it, but no appeal on this occasion. In the end, he saves a couple of leg byes at least. The end of 7 overs, a maiden from Ashwin. Australia 1 for 10, 66 runs away from their target. Labuschagne 6, head on 3 on the K-Rain irrigation scoreboard.
Need some extra cash now? At Cash Converters, you could get cash on the spot in as little as 10 minutes. Head into your local Cash Converter store to find out more.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Tyre Power store-wide super sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of Kumho tyres. You can buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Kumho passenger car and SUV tyres. Tyre Power store-wide super sale is now on. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91.
Today's your first ball of a new over, defended by Travis Head, back down the pitch, no run. We're here for Tyre Power at Know Your Tyres. A text in from Emma in Brunswick. Ravi Shastri is iconic, loving the coverage. Thank you, Emma, he certainly is. Jadeja delivers round the wicket, forward his head, looking to drive, wants a single, doesn't take on Akshar, rightly so. Labuschagne sending the South Australian back. Nerves every time Head faces up. We didn't expect the slow start. He's 3 from 20. He's hard held.
Emma's texting in from God's country too. I should add. Brunswick is a lovely suburb of Melbourne.
Your local club, Jadeja bowls Head. This time gets to drive away. It checked one at that. Akshar moves around to cover point. Head off strike, which feels important. He's 4 from 21, 1 for 11. Australia. We've got Jason in Chelsea. He was sitting on the roof in Adelaide when India got bowled out for 36 on a belter. This feels like 400. And one more here from No Name. Nobody in Australia move. We have to sit where we are until we get this done. As Alan Border would have said back in the day, you can't move when you're in a run chase.
That might be the bloke who's about to get married.
Jadeja around the wicket. Labuschagne back defending, trusting the bounce into the offside at silly point.
It's like the batters, you know, you're going out to bat and it's as if you've been summoned by the Inland Revenue. And it's an interrogation that's taking place. You don't have your pads on.
Jadeja to Labuschagne, forward defending, bat and pad glued together. Got to say, Labuschagne's been great. If the tax office come interrogating him, they won't find a way through the Queenslander at the moment.
Oh, these are serious questions.
So just the 2 on the leg side, I'm intrigued by this. They want Labuschagne to sweep through mid-wicket, as he did a lot at Nagpur and Delhi. Will he resist? Jadeja bowls, Labuschagne prods into the onside, briefly considers the quick single, thinks better of it. That's the end of the 8th over. Changing commentary after the break. Daniel Norcross coming in for me. Ravi Shastri will hear from you in half an hour. Australia 1 for 11 on the K-Rate irrigation scoreboard. They require 65 runs to win.
Hi, Dwayne here. I know the Werribee Kia team well, and they work really hard to give you the best service while finding your dream Kia. And the work's paid off. They won their first ever prestigious National Kia Dealer of the Year award, and they're so proud, and they should be, because this award isn't just for big sale numbers. It's the whole business, from sales to presentation, from parts to admin to servicing. Drive with the best. Werribee Kia, Australia's best Kia dealer. Visit werribeekia.com.au. LMCT 114.
Welcome back. Test cricket on SEN. The first ball of a new over is tucked into the onside. Picked up by Jadeja, and they get a precious, precious run. Test cricket with Henley Homes. Buy a Henley completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook. Henley.com.au. I tell you, what I've learnt is the batting on this pitch is like juggling matches in a petroleum shower under a bath of napalm. This is the most hideous thing imaginable. I cannot imagine what it's like for the batters. It is foul. Ashwin in. Ashwin defended on the front foot. Big appeal for LBW. Something's happening every ball. Pete Lalor is alongside me, and Phil Long, who's with us now. Thanks to Fuso Trucks. Fuso canters are in stock now. Job done.
Pete and I have sat down just after 10 o'clock. We're in the 9th over already.
I know.
I feel like we are 9 down on the 5th day.
You
with an hour to play.
You might be. We're impartial as this ball is played back up the wicket off the back foot, and there is no run. What an extraordinary morning this has been so far.
Is there a desktop computer in any office in Australia not tuned to the cricket right now?
Well,
or a radio?
The productivity levels have dropped. They've plummeted from Perth to Brisbane. Ashwin in. Let's play with an angled bat to backward point. There is no run.
In the words of our famous Prime Minister Bob Hawke, any boss who doesn't give his employees a chance to listen to this is a bum. That's kind of a perversion of what Bob said, but he did say bum.
Well, he's right. He's right. There are times in life when it is less important to be looking at your spreadsheet and your project plans, and it's more important to engage in thrilling Test cricket. And this is one of those moments, kids.
It's shades of Jeff Thompson and Alan Border, 1982, 3 Ashes, 4th Test.
I was listening to that in a farmhouse in cold Wales at 2 o'clock in the morning.
What did they need? 72 runs, was it, from memory?
Yeah. He's caught it, he's dropped it, he's out, as Henry Blofeld says.
Yeah.
The parried catch. He's caught it, he's dropped it, he's out.
I remember seeing that ball hang in the air as it went to the second slip, didn't it? It got fumbled.
Fumbled, and it was both them with the delivery, wasn't it? Who took the catch on the rebound? Miller dropped it, I think.
Some pom,
yeah. But we're all the same to you. Right, there's a break. There's a delay in play.
Yeah.
And I don't quite know why. Is there a little bit of chatter going on? And Labuschagne, right, so the umpires are having a word here, and they're saying, you're talking quite enough, kids. Labuschagne's going to speak to Rowett, and he's saying, enough of this. They're getting in my ear. Joel Wilson is telling him to calm down. I mean, it's moderately affable. Sorry, yes, Bharat.
If I could just jump in, it's basically to do with Manas taking too long to get him to strike. And look where Ashwin is. He's not even coming off his full run. So he's just saying, I'm going to stand there and bowl of one step.
Now Ashwin mind games. Absolute mind games.
It's marvellous.
Yes. If Ashwin's at the top of his mark, Manas isn't ready. If Ashwin's...
and now Ashwin is at the top of his mark, and Manas is again not ready.
That's right.
Here we go. He's in around the wicket. Manas comes forward, pushes it the offside. Thinks of a single that might have been there, but Ashwin trots across the field off his own bowling. No run.
It's a very similar battle used to happen between Sourav Ganguly and Shane Warne. Sourav was never ready when Shane was. He used to drive Shane mad. But it's about who's got control, who's controlling the pace of the game. It's an arm wrestle.
Ashwin is in around the wicket to Labuschagne, who drives into the onside, out towards long on for another precious single on the Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires. Australia 1 for 13 after 9.
Red Rooster's $2.50 snack subs, each with succulent chicken, crisp lettuce and your choice of sauce packed into a sub. The Rooster's calling. Get it where you can while you can. Available all day.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Go into Tyre Power and say, "G'day, mate. Look, I reckon I need some new tyres." And they'll say, "Perfect timing. The store-wide super sale is now on. You can buy 3, get 1 free on Kumo tyres." Nice one. Tyrepower.com.au.
Test cricket on SEN with Tyre Power. Know your tyres. It's been Jadeja and Ashwin all morning. I'm going to come to you in a moment, Phil. I want to know how many dot balls have been played. There's been 54 deliveries and precious few scoring shots as Jadeja is in, and another defensive push by Labuschagne down the wicket. There is no run. We've got 2 slips, a city point, but there is protection out at deep point. There's a backward point, short extra, mid-off, mid-on, a backward square leg. Is the sweep on against the spin? Probably not on a pitch like this. So Labuschagne defends of a thick outside edge. It squirts the point. It's fielded by Rowett. There is no run. Is someone going to have a dart here, Pete? Is someone going to say, look, a couple of 4s here breaks this game up? Because at the moment, they're allowing India to bowl at them with the Australians, and the more deliveries they bowl, eventually one is going to explode and take that edge. The first ball of the day got us all hysterical with laughter as it flew off the pitch. Jadeja in, forward comes Labuschagne, no run.
Well, if you're waiting for a loose one, you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
No. But I can't see Australia striking many boundaries in this game. I'm watching Steve Smith. He's sitting alone at the front of the viewing room there, in front of the dressing room.
Oh, now a big appeal for LBW. That looks really close. Umpire Menon shakes his head. It was on leg stump, and Manas looked to turn the ball into the onside. They're not going to refer it. They're keeping some of those reviews. They've already burned one already. India and Australia have each burned a review.
Tell you what, Steve Smith's burning some emotional energy watching this down there. He's twitching every delivery. He's living every ball.
Well, so are we. I mean, he's got to go out and bat. Well, having a look. Oh, the replay. That's pitched outside in the K-Rain irrigation scoreboard. The score remains, therefore, 1 for 13. That is pitched outside leg stump. It was going to hit the stumps. Forward comes Labuschagne, plays back the bowler. No run. And that's actually a really good non-review because it would have looked out. To everybody there, it would have looked out. But it's just started outside leg and snaked back in. Jadeja in. Forward in defence comes Labuschagne. End of the over on SEN with Tyre Power. Know your tyres. Australia 1 for 13 after 10.
Hi, Kevin Sheedy here. I am pleased to say that Essendon BMW is the destination to find your ultimate driving machine. With a range of new and demonstrator vehicles ready for immediate delivery, the Essendon BMW team are at your service. Also, Essendon BMW is home to the first ever fully electric BMW iX3. Book an appointment today, 1 Centro Circuit, Essendon Fields, or browse online at essendonbmw.com.au.
LMCT 11803.
Welcome back. Test cricket with Henley Homes. Buy a Henley completed home at the Dales, bonnybrookhenley.com.au. Now, the umpires are not in place. Were they just checking for a no ball? They're absolutely nowhere near where they should be.
I think they're checking the ball. Now, I can't understand why you'd be checking the ball, because it hasn't exactly been belted around.
I can see why on the screen. The
now,
seam.
That quarter seam is lifted a little.
It has.
Oh, the seam is lifted.
Now,
how did that happen?
I can't imagine how that would happen because, Phil Long, how many scoring shots have we had today?
Scoring shots, we've had the 1 boundary, 8 singles, a leg by.
So it takes some effort to get the seam to unstitch like that.
I mean, that is not like an English Dukes ball. Last year, we had 9 changes of ball in 1 innings in England. The Dukes ball has gone so manky.
Yeah.
But these balls tend to last a bit longer than that, and you can see very clearly that the seam has got a kind of dent in it.
Yeah,
you can imagine such a thing.
Yeah.
Umpire's taking a look at it. We're not imputing in any way that there might have been any skullduggery. It could be anything that's made that happen.
Even the ball's exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. 63 runs to win, 9 wickets in hand.
Yep, and you're
can barely breathe.
Yeah.
Australia can barely breathe. But I like this approach. They're sensible. They're not losing their head. And let's be realistic here. We've seen the first ball fly out of the surface. We've seen a couple keep low. Basically, it's just good spin bowling. You know, it hasn't been radically different to the first couple of days of Test, which is not to say it hasn't been difficult, because nobody has done well on this apart from.
But they're landing every ball, Pete.
That's it. There's no loose delivery. It's good bowling, but it's not unplayable.
No, and that's why I just ask: is someone going to have the guts to use their feet to come at the bowler? Because if they, well, maybe eventually they'll get a bad ball. But we have watched now for how long have we been on? 39 minutes.
Yeah.
And we've seen 1 bad ball and it wasn't put away. But to head. Remember the slightly short one outside the off stump? Went for the cut and found the fielder.
Well, there's a bit of conversation going on here between the umpire and
Rohit
Sharma and Ashwin.
Yeah.
And
there's a wonderful graphic here on the replay screen with Beaumont tiles, which says Ashwin causing the left-handers trouble. That is a massive understatement. Head faces up with 2 slips and goes back into his crease, clips, but can't beat the fielder at mid-wicket. There's no run. 1 for 13. The score remains on the K-Rain Irrigation scoreboard.
Stay down low. Got that off the toe of the bat, as we say. Clip it off. Not playing straight.
Ashwin round the wicket to Head. Head comes fully forward and just defends up to mid-on. There's no run. Ashwin has now bowled 32 deliveries. He's taken 1 for 3. What is going to hearten these Australians back home, I'm sure, is that the wicket fell in the first over. And there hasn't been one since. As Ashwin is into Head. He does a little shimmy and clips it, whacks it out through mid-wicket. And that is the boundary they needed. Blunstone right on with Blunstone. And he has got hold of that. That was slightly over pitch. That's all it took. Head was onto it like a flash.
What are you saying? You rated 34 balls to get one like that. But he was there to make the most of it.
And good for him, because you can find yourself in a rut here when you're just defending. He pounced on the 1 loose delivery he's got. Steve Smith loved that. Betrays a little bit of the nerves.
Another discussion about the ball. We've got a bad year for cow leather.
Ashwin's actually pointing to something on the ball. What I can't tell is does Ashwin want You say this ball's no good either. Because this is a replacement, yes?
Yes, this is a replacement, yeah.
A box of balls come out. And Joel Wilson is now wandering to Nittage and Menon and to say, this ball's rubbish as well. Ashwin doesn't like the seam.
No, Matthew Renshaw runs on.
Says, tough luck.
With a cup of tea for Marnus Labuschagne, a little chat.
But you know, we had 8 overs in the first half hour. I think we've had 1.2 overs in the next 13 minutes since we came on air.
How good is Test cricket? Seriously. I mean, how ridiculous is this? You see, a T20 game, you're chasing 76. You do it. You do it in a canter, wouldn't you? T10 game, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, tedious. Utterly tedious.
But
now this is something else.
The last 45 tests in Norcross, just 2 of them at home.
Chennai and Pune. Ashwin into the left-handed head. He gets another full ball. He drives it square of the wicket. He's going to get a run. Will he come back for a second? He is. Scampering back. Throw comes in. Oh, dive. This is close. This is close, but I think he's home. They're going to go upstairs. I think he's made it. That was an ambitious second, but he...
TV umpires are direct.
Fleet of foot.
Review for run out
Head
at the
there.
striker's end. See your best side on angle, please.
Yes. But prognosis, he did a bat land as opposed to a slide.
He didn't slide that bat in. He's poked it over the crease.
He's in.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's clearly grounded behind the popping
He did get
crease.
it down just before the crease. So apologies, Travis.
But not by far, not by much.
No,
Look, in is in, but he's in by about 3 feet.
Yep, not much at all. He's not the quickest between wickets there.
2 runs, though, 2 precious runs to go with a boundary.
They turn for the second as the fielder pounced on the ball.
Ashwin's got 2 slips in place. To Head as he comes around the wicket to him. And Head drives, smashes it high, all the way. It is. It's a 6. It's a huge shot. Our boundary is sponsored by Blundstone. Right on with Blundstone. What a shot that was. He has smashed this over long on for 6. He's at a 4, a 6, a 2. Head has decided he's going to go after anything that is remotely loose. It's just, again, a little too full. And what a difference that makes. That's 12 runs in this over. We started this over with 1 for 13 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires. And 5 balls later, they've nearly doubled the score. Ashwin in, Head, push drives up to long off. And they have doubled the score at the end of the over. Australia 1 for 26.
Drive with drugs in your system and you could face large penalties and licence suspension. Chances are you will be caught. Anywhere, anytime. Drive safely for everyone. TAC.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of zip pay and zip money. You can get what you need now, get back on the road safely and pay for it later. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91.
SEN Test cricket with Tyre Power. Kumo tyres at wicket-taking prices.
Advantage shifted to Australia in that over. Ashwin's shoulders drooped a little bit when he was hit back over his head. He'd been complaining about the ball. It just wasn't quite in the zone that he had been in. Well done, Travis Head, to be there and take advantage of it. What did he get, 12 off it, did he?
13 off the over.
13?
13 off the over. Bharat Sundaresan joins us.
For India.
With a hat precariously balanced over the top of his head.
I'm having a very terrible hair day. I missed my hair wash.
I'm
schedule.
so sorry to hear that.
It's very important in my life, and a lot of chatter going on in the middle. Marnus has finally managed to get under India's skin, and Rohit Sharma showing Marnus the ball. Marnus demanding that he gets to see the ball. All laughter. Rohit is the kind of character who would enjoy someone like Marnus Labuschagne. He's a Mumbai cricketer, Rohit, and so is Marnus.
Right, heads on strike, start of a new over from Ravi Jadeja. And he's driven him again, firmly, back over his head. It's running away to the boundary. It's another 4. Head is on the charge. Our boundaries with Blundstone, right on with Blundstone. And on the Kia scoreboard, Kia, movement that inspires. Australia moved to 1 for 30.
He's had 2 terrific home summers, Travis Head, but this could well be the most important innings of his career. So many question marks about his batting in the subcontinent. But in this run chase, he had a role to play, and for now, he's playing it splendidly. And look how much Steve Smith's enjoying it.
Jadeja, NTM, he comes forward in defence, plays back to the bowler, no run. And this is the point. Once you get that in a low-scoring run chase, once you get that quick 17 runs, and it doesn't sound like much, but out of 75, 76, that's nearly a fifth of what you need. As this is driven into the offside, there's going to be at least one. It'll be just the one. As that's played in front of square, there's a big gap between mid-off and cover point. And Head picks up another single, 1 for 31.
It's all about confidence, right, Pete? Like, you can just see after that 6, the confidence in his front foot stride and where he's meeting the ball, it looks a lot different. What he has done...
Sorry to interrupt, Bharat, but we're back on ball watch.
We are. We totally are.
And you two have got the binoculars.
I haven't seen so much interest in the ball since Cape Town. It takes some kahunas to hit Ravi Ashwin and Jadeja back over their head.
It really does. But if it was going to be someone, it was going to be Travis Head, you thought. As Marcus is in the power. This is really close. No, says umpire Menon, and I think they might consider having a look at this. Well, the advantage is swung to Australia. Is Rohit going to go upstairs? He's saying, oh, is it going down leg? No, they're not going to take a look. It could be a repeat of what we had earlier, where the ball just drifted outside leg and spun back.
No, I think this one was the slider, so it was just sliding away. It must have pitched in line. It did, but it was just...
Yeah, it's sliding down.
Sliding down like sides.
It was well forward, but it was never going to be a matter of height, was it?
Yeah.
It was angle.
No. Jadeja in this bit whacked away out through square leg. That's 4 more. The boundaries are coming plentifully. This time it's Labuschagne in on the act. Our boundaries with Blundstone. Right on with Blundstone for your chance to win.
This is a sweep shot he's been working on since the Sri Lanka tour. I coined it as the square sweep, where he targets that area between where mid-wicket and backward square leg will be. It's generally, there's no boundary fielder there. He picks it on length. And you can see he tries to hit it much straighter than the average sweep.
Defended back to the bowler. 1 for 35 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires. End of the over.
For ultimate braking performance on your off-road adventures, fit Bendix Ultimate 4-wheel drive brake pads. Their high-tech ceramic formulation provides low dust and noise while delivering high-temperature stability and exceptional fade resistance. They also feature our mechanical retention system backing plate for improved pad attachment strength. Bendix Ultimate 4-wheel drive brake pads. Bendix. Put your foot down with confidence.
Welcome back, SEN Test Cricket with Henley Holmes, henleyholmes.com.au. And wow, the tension has been lifted in the last 2 overs. As Ashford is round the wicket to Head, that's punched off the back foot, no run. 1 for 35 on the K-Rain Irrigation scoreboard. 1 for 36 now with that single just pushed out into the offside, and they managed to trot through for 1 more. Head to 24, Labuschagne 11. It feels like just moments ago it was 1 for 13 off 10, so 23 off the last 2.1. Is that correct, Phil Long?
Ever since the ball has been changed.
Yep.
No wonder they've been complaining about this ball. And he's still complaining about
he
this
doesn't
ball.
like
Oh, good God.
Well, do you know the difference is not the ball, it's where they're landing the ball.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah, he's got the frown on, Ashwin.
Yeah. Nice. Big crowd come in. A lot of Australians here.
Ashwin round the wicket to right-handed. Labuschagne comes down the wicket. First time using his feet, pushes to short mid-wicket, and there is no run.
Pete, you were talking about spending some time in a temple. You can see there's the bell there right next to the Australian dressing room. I mean, that's in place like the bell you see in so many grounds. The Adelaide Oval famously.
It's not a temple bell.
This is not a temple bell, but I'll just come to that bell.
We're going to ring that bell, say, Australia.
Ashwin to Matt. Labuschagne again dances down the wicket again. Defends back to the bowler, no run.
You know how it is in Hindu temples. You always ring the bell when you enter the temple.
Yes.
For good luck. And always ring the bell on your way out. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Australian batters would... Well, wanted to do that before the last 2-3 overs. This was some hope prayer.
Ashwin tosses this up. It's driven firmly through extra cover. A mighty shot from Marnus. Labuschagne. Another boundary. Right on with Blundstone for your chance to win. 1 for 40 Australia.
Well, Marnus is quite a devoted Christian. Probably makes the sign of the cross before he comes out.
I'm sure he does.
Like you do when you go into a Catholic church. You bless yourself with the holy water. It makes the sign of the cross.
Yeah. And
on the way in and on the way out.
So,
you know, all these woke Eastern religions, come on. That's a bit of old
We started
school.
it. We started it.
Ashwin into Labuschagne, who defends Crabbily. It squirts the back point. There's no run. So, 1 for 40 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires. That tells you that Australia are over halfway to their target. They've only lost the 1 wicket. That was in the first over of the day. We had half an hour of tempestuous mayhem. There were vipers in this pitch. But it's all got a lot more comfortable as Ashwin is in now. And Labuschagne defends back to the bowler. There's no run. End of the over. Australia 1 for 40.
Style your outdoor area for less with Amart. Save up to 70% off outdoor furniture and end-of-season stock. T's and C's apply. Ends today. Stores open late tonight, so hurry into Amart.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Berwick BMW's customer service is world class, and Abdul's review proves it. I appreciate not only your commitment to providing a good service, but to the friendliness and efficiency. I'll be recommending Berwick BMW. Good on you, Abdul. With next day servicing available, visit Berwick BMW. LMCT 8953.
Welcome back to MSEN, our first session with MEGT. Build your best workforce with MEGT.com.au. It's going to be a first and a last session today.
Now, a lot of Australians bought tickets for this test thinking that they were going to Dharamshala.
They did. Jadeja starts a new over, is driven firmly by Head. There's got to be a single there, he's not taking it.
So the third test was going to be the most well-attended by Australian fans. Some made the decision just to go to Dharamshala instead. I bet they're ruining that choice now.
Yes.
They made it very nice up there, but...
Jadeja is in. This is carved through backward point. This is going to run away to the boundary. Another boundary.
Wow.
How many has that been? I'm going to find out from Phil Long in a minute, but 1 for 44 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires.
Travis Head suddenly is feeling like he's in Adelaide. We spoke about hope and prayer. Now there's belief in his technique.
Good point. And Indian heads have dropped. There's not a lot of talk.
No.
At the end of that over, Ashwin dismissively flicked the ball over to Jadeja, didn't say anything and wandered to the rope with his head down.
Yeah.
A lot quieter now.
The game has slipped away. They realise it.
The game is up, Bharat. The game is up. And how quickly that has happened. Oh, forward in defence comes Head, turned into the onside. There's no run.
8 for 25, 28, was it? That's all I'm telling you. It can change quickly.
That was just 10 days ago.
I speak
advantage Australia here.
I speak as an impartial observer. You've done it. You're there. You're home and hosed. Jadeja in, driven up to mid-off, and there's no run.
Must be hard to be an Englishman here. You have to figure out who you detest the most, Australia or India.
Oh, no.
That'd be the way it works.
It's who you love the most, Pete. It's who you love. No detestation in our hearts as this ball is turning down the leg side.
That's right.
There is a lot of detestation in both these countries for England, though. That's
true. That's true. But we bring nothing but goodwill to you both, and we forgive you for your sins.
Contempt for England unites the rest of the cricket world.
It does, bless you. It does. As Jadeja is in, this is whacked away out through deep mid-wicket, and there's going to be picked up on the boundary for just a single. 1 for 45.
Need a bowling change, I reckon, India.
Oh, that is the end of the over. On the Kia scoreboard, Kia movement that inspires. Australia 1 for 45. Need just another 31 to win.
Hi, it's Nick Strauss from Berwick Motor Group. Customers say they love that new car smell, and so do we, because the all-new Nissan Qashqai has arrived at Berwick Nissan. Test drive the Qashqai STL as it's in stock now for immediate delivery. Priced from $47,490 drive away, we're adding even more value, throwing in a 3-year free servicing. Come and see us or visit yournextnissan.com.au. Best wishes, Nick Strauss. T's and C's apply. LMCT 8760.
Test cricket on SEN with MEGT. Build your best workforce with MEGT.com.au. Here's Ashwin, starts a new over, clattered away through the offside. Wonderful shot off the back foot from Travis Head, and it speeds away for a boundary. Our boundaries with Blundstone, right on with Blundstone. 1 for 49.
32 runs of the last 24 balls, now 36 of the last 25. And when Travis Head can rock back onto the back foot on a pitch like this and start playing his cut shots. We saw him play a late cut in the previous over. This one in front of the wicket, you know he's feeling really good about himself right now, and so he should.
Ashwin's in around the wicket, the left-handed end, who comes dancing down the wicket. He's chipped it in the air. Fielder runs around from long off. It bounces once, twice, and is picked up. Just a couple of runs, but with that couple of runs, Umesh Yadav does the tidying up. Australia move to 1 for 51. They've got past the half century. They need just another 25. They're 2/3 of the way there. From Perth to Brisbane, I can hear sighs of relief. It's going to be 2-1. We're going to go to Ahmedabad with the series still open. Phil Long is mouthing something at me. And the 50 partnership is up. Ashwin in. It's driven back down the wicket. And it's once more going to go to the long off, this time for just a single. Phil Long's with us because of Fuso trucks. Fuso canters are in stock now. Job done. Thank you for that. Our stats.
Really interesting to see how this, if Australia pull this off, how this goes down in India. India is not used to losing at home.
Yeah.
What will they do, Bharat? Are we going to get a snake pit at Ahmedabad, or are they going to have to change course entirely?
I mean, the Indian batters would be hoping that it doesn't go by worse than this.
Or will they look to get an absolute flat track for the draw as Ashwin is in reverse sweep? That's where we're at now. Lavashay has got over that well and hit it fine to the left of backward point. It's yet another boundary. Our boundaries with Blundstone. Right on with Blundstone for your chance to win.
Do you think Narendra Modi might be considering cancelling his morning visit to Ahmedabad?
Ooh. Does he have a say on the pitch?
He likes a positive photo opportunity.
He does.
Seriously,
will be pumped up. Albanese will be there.
Seriously though, if it's 2-1, they might go for the flat deck, might they? For the ball draw, as this is forward in defence, push back to the bowler, no run. That would suit India entirely. They would qualify, wouldn't they, for the World Test Championship with a draw. They'd win the series.
Australia have qualified for the World Test Championship if they win this, so this is guarantees them place.
20 runs away now.
1 for 56, Ashwin in, and that's defended on the front foot by Lavashay to short mid-wicket. That is the end of the over on the Kia scoreboard. 1 for 56. Kia, movement that inspires.
Style your outdoor area for less with Amart. Save up to 70% off outdoor furniture and end-of-season stock. T's and C's apply. Ends today. Stores open late tonight, so hurry into Amart.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Australia's most popular hose reel is now at Bunnings. The Holman retractable hose reel is the perfect watering solution this summer. Grab yours this weekend. The Holman retractable hose reel. Australia's most popular retractable hose reel. Available at Bunnings.
It's time to plan your 2023 travel lineup with Flight Centre. From that epic sports weekend in September to the iconic slopes of Japan or your long-awaited Fiji family getaway. With a combined 38,000 years of travel experience, Flight Centre knows a thing or two about travel, and they're ready to make your next holiday easy. Here's your Flight Centre boarding call. Book your next holiday with Flight Centre online, in-store or via the app. It's travel made easy. Flight Centre.
Isn't it time you SUVW? Get the Volkswagen T-Cross 85 TSI Life from $32,990 drive away. T's and C's apply at volkswagen.com.au.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Get it right the first time with K-Rain Irrigation. K-Rain is the landscaper's choice when it comes to professional irrigation supplies. With a wide range to choose from and available at leading hardware stores. K-Rain, the landscaper's choice. Visit k-rain.com.au.
New ball, Ashwin bowls again, Khawaja. It's the edge, finds the edge, given! Caught behind Khawaja, second ball of the day. He's thinking about reviewing. Ashwin is elated. They are going to send it upstairs. And we're getting the ultra edge here. He's hit it. He's hit it. Usman Khawaja is going to be walking for a second ball duck, and he knows it.
Head drive, smashes it high, all the way. It is. It's a 6. It's a huge shot. And he's driven him again firmly back over his head. It's running away to the boundary. It's another 4. Head is on the charge.
Our first session on SEN Test Cricket for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship and employment experts. Australia 1 for 56, and it was a tale of 2.5 hours. Phil Long, who's with us for Fuso trucks. Fuso canters are in stock now. Job done. Australia under the pump to start, then they flourished.
I've popped in my notes alongside my score. Ball changed. At that point, 13 for 1 off 10 overs. It's now 56 for 1 off 15. That means there's been 43 runs in the last 5 overs.
Wow, Bharat, they had the chance to break the back of it, and they've not missed.
Yeah, and what I'll just sum the last 15-20 minutes up in this fashion, Adam Collins. For the first half an hour, first 40 minutes, Steve Smith did not move from that chair right in front. There he is, padded up. I can see him right in front of the dressing room. And then, maybe 15 minutes out, he allowed Usman Khawaja to come sit next to him. But now during the drinks break, he's allowed himself a bathroom break. That's how relaxed Australia are now.
Phil, one more before we go to the ball.
One more for you. Ashwin, first 5 overs, 3 runs. His last 3 have gone for 29.
Says it all. Now, there's going to be a bowling change from the northern end. It's going to be Seam Umesh Yadav, who came on yesterday and was the catalyst for the collapse, taking 3 in a hurry with reverse swing. Well, there won't be reverse swing only into the 16th over of the innings. So the spinners are off to this point. It's been all spin for Lumo Energy, well bowled Lumo Energy. Marnus Labuschagne changing his helmet. They're all taking their time here now. Time is not a factor. Although there have been several interruptions where the umpires have come together. A couple of ball changes you point out there, Phil Long. I'm sure that'll be a talking point after the test match concludes in, well, minutes from now, the way things are trending. Travis Head prepares to start the second hour. Umesh Yadav's first ball. Head goes back, defending out towards mid-on, doing it with ease. To everyone listening to us around Australia, around New Zealand, England as well on TalkSport 2, thanks for your company throughout what's been an extraordinary couple of days, really, at the office, Baz. And, we expected a twist this morning. That came via the first over. First few overs from Ashwin. He was just all over Australia. Every ball felt like there could be a wicket. And then Travis Head goes bang, bang, bang. The big 6 over long on. Now it should be smooth sailing. Umesh round the wicket, bowls to Head, tries to carve him away in quintessential Travis Head fashion, but it's a little inside edge into the track and it spills out to backward point.
And just a reminder for Travis Head that this is still not the Adelaide Oval or the Karen Rolton Oval.
No.
You can't. It's very difficult to time a cut shot on this low and slow pitch, even when a fast bowler is coming at you. But yeah, one thing India have allowed Australia to do, especially Marnus, is to get under their skin. I can see Mohammad Siraj still having a few words with him. No more smiles from some of the Indians when they are interacting with Marnus.
Funny that. Marnus did well earlier with that. Umesh bowls, Head, cuts, finds the gap, just threads it through, should get a boundary. Out towards the western stand, does get a boundary. Australia 1 for 60, heads into the 40s from 44 deliveries. Now boundaries for Blunston, right on with Blunston. Didn't get all of that, Baz, but didn't need to. The outfield remains rapid.
Yeah, good adjustment from Travis Head. Rather than play it late like he does in Australia, he jumped at this ball, threw his hands at it, somehow just managed to find that gap, and once beats the infield. As we've seen over the last 2 days and a bit, the ball just flies off.
Phil Long?
35 off the last 20 from Travis Head.
Wow. What a turnaround. He was stuck in the mud early on. Ashwin was all over him. Umesh here, Head clipping around the corner as the leg in the air when he makes contact, albeit off at inside edge. 41 for him, 1 for 61. Australia 15 to win. It reminds me a little bit of the chasing Dharamshala that India had in the 4th test in 2017. They were chasing 106 then. Australia went bang, bang. And just for a moment there was hope, and then Rahane came together, KL Rahul, and they finished it in a flurry. Indeed, Rahane won that test with a 6, a couple of 6s, might have been. Yeah.
It's all in there in the new book, The Miracle Makers. I think it's doing good sales.
Being sold in all good bookshops and bad ones too. That's out now, isn't it?
It is.
Good stuff, guys. Get a plug in. Umesh over the wicket to Labuschagne. Couple in the cordon. Labuschagne tries to do as Head did, threading through the offside, but Mohammad Siraj works around from cover point. No single.
Australia have just been the better team in these treacherous conditions, pitch conditions. They won so many sessions. They won all three sessions, I thought, on day one.
Yep.
Sort of let it slip yesterday with the collapse, but again came back strongly in the 2nd and 3rd sessions, and so far they've been well on top.
Umesh up to the crease, northern end, down the leg side, something on it, but no one's really appealing. Taken by Bharat, moving to his left. End of the over on the Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires Australia. A 1 for 61, Heads 41, Labuschagne 19, and 15 away from a victory here at Indoor.
Hello, it's Emma Martino from State Transport. With a fleet of over 250 vehicles, from 1 tonne right up to the big semis, State Transport is ready to deliver your goods on time, safely and efficiently, both locally and Australia-wide. We are the time slot specialists. 24 hours, 7 days a week, and with State Transport, you're ready to go. State Transport, our people are your solution.
State Transport, our people are your solution.
Our first session on SEN Test Cricket for MEGT.com.au. Build your best workforce with MEGT.com.au. Adam Collins, Bharat Sundaresan, Phil Long taking us through. Ashwin staying in the attack, our end. Bowls to Head, who tries to pull him, but it keeps low. Head really opening up now. Wanted to thwack that over deep mid-wicket where there isn't a fielder. Against the spin, not to be.
Getting a little bit too ambitious, Travis Head, but why not?
Ashwin. Round the wicket, Head gets forward. Defence, no run. Get to the end here, Trav. Be there at the end. If you get into this position, a nice red anchor in a test victory in India will be something he can look back on forever. And I share your point from when you jumped on commentary. This might be one of the most important moments in his test career. Ashwin bowls and Head gets forward, deflects, gets at least a single behind point. Well played. He's 42, 1 for 62, 14 away. Just the way that he was able to very immediately change the tension of the morning, the energy of the morning. 2 4s and a 6, and it's pretty much job done.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I remember Manas Labuschagne talking about this, having played under 12s from here. I mean, he's played so much cricket with Travis Head, and that was always Travis Head's reputation, even in junior cricket. He could just make or break a game, and he's done that. I thought he played really well in the first 15-20 minutes, soft hands, didn't get into too much trouble. Then he just opened up.
2 back on the leg side for Labuschagne. Ashwin over the wicket, skids it through, off break, but Labuschagne's equal to it. Turning into the onside, he's 20 from 50 balls, 1 for 63, 13 away.
And Jess, if you're listening to this, I'm speaking to Trav Head's partner, let him keep the moustache. Look at what he achieved for Australia with the moustache.
We did speak to Trav without the tape recorders rolling. It was Nagpur, wasn't it, after the test, and he grew the moustache. He didn't play. You know, as you do on tour, you sort of get a bit more out of the players than you ordinarily would. He's like, mate, I'm doing the moustache thing again. Got me that 100 at Brisbane a couple of years ago. Got him a good start at Delhi last week, and another one here that's mattered an awful lot in indoor. He's on strike on 42. Ashwin round the wicket, Head on the front foot. Another single into the offside, taking on Rohit Sharma at short cover. 43, 1 for 64, 12 to go. I doubt they're going to do it in singles, as England did many years ago with Wilfred Rhodes, but there have been 3 singles in this over.
Yeah. I don't think Travis Head's thinking singles anymore.
So back round the wicket. Change of angle for Labuschagne. Ashwin here. Labuschagne using his feet, placing it out to Jadeja at mid-off. No run. That ends the over on the Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires. 1 for 64, 12 to win. Head on 43. Labuschagne 20.
How's that? Right now, score incredible run-out deals on 2022 LG OLED and QNED TVs and matching LG soundbars. Only while stocks last.
The SEN app is now compatible with Apple Watch. Download it today.
Australia's most popular hose reel is now at Bunnings. The Holman retractable hose reel is the perfect watering solution this summer. Grab yours this weekend. The Holman retractable hose reel, Australia's most popular retractable hose reel. Available at Bunnings.
SEN Test Cricket for Henley Holmes, henley.com.au. Australia have brought the big moments this morning for Bendix, the best known breaks. Letting lots of text in as well. I'd like to mention a few of those. 0433 98 11 16. One from Fiona saying, hurry up, Aussies. I've got an hour before I switch hotels in McLeod Gardens. Ooh. Fiona, you're going to get there in time. Plenty of time. Umesh over the wicket to Head, pulling through the onside. Doesn't beat mid-wicket, won't get a run. Well fielded by Siraj. Away to his right. Claire's listening on TalkSport 2 on the way into work in Southampton. Can the Aussies hurry up a bit? England play Bangladesh soon. Oh, that'll be the second one-dayer. Good scrap that, the first one in Dhaka a couple of days ago. James feeding the sheep, and I don't want to get out of the tractor where I can hear the radio. James, stick with us on SEN Test Cricket. And this must be before they broke the back of it. My stomach is feeling like a bag full of ferrets. Wazra will be fine now. Umesh bowls, Head, clips down to long leg, gets a single, 44. 1 for 65, of course. If you have been following our coverage, stick with us after play as well. Bharat will be talking to, I'd imagine, Steve Smith down at the side of the pitch. We'll have the podcast going up on the SEN cricket feed, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. All the videos and all the highlights will be up there, and so will our end of play podcast. Phil Long.
Fiona's in McLeod Ganj, so she's gone up to Dharamshala.
She is.
I think I know who Fiona is, our correspondent there. She loves it up there in Dharamshala. She was with us in 2017 on the previous tour. Umesh in, 11 to win, bowls to Labuschagne on the front foot, pushing out to mid-off, no single.
But guys, we can't overstate the importance, the significance of what's playing out in front of us. India don't lose test matches in India. It's amazing. Australia have this reputation of being mighty, indomitable at home, but they lose test matches at home more often than India lose test matches in India. It's amazing how rarely they've lost. 13 test matches they've lost in the last 23 years.
2 in the last 11. Umesh bowls. Labuschagne tucks, no run. Is that right, Phil? There's been a couple after the 2012 win that England had.
And they were both kind of freakish results, weren't they? Large defeats for India. The 227 against England, 333 against India. This feels like a real win, doesn't it, if you know what I mean?
It does, yeah. And Australia, let's face it, have dominated this test. If you just leave out that late order collapse yesterday, they've been on top. They played the game at their pace. They wanted to do that. They've dictated terms. This will be a very, very comprehensive victory. And even this morning, they soaked in the pressure. It was so difficult to bat out there. These two have done superbly well.
Umesh to the crease, bowls here, Labuschagne driving out towards mid-off, right at the middle of the bat, but no single.
And the best thing is they both enjoyed it. We've spoken a lot about Manas and how he's gone under the Indian skin, but Travis Head has been having some lovely chats with some of the players, Shreyas Iyer, the keeper. He's been laughing, he's been enjoying the challenge, and that's what you want to see. Travis Head will be back in India, you would assume, in 3-4 years' time, and Australia back. It's all about managing your expectations when you play Test cricket in India.
Umesh again, last ball of the 18th over. Labuschagne on the hook. Finds the gap, gets a boundary. 2 men out for it. I lost the ball. Labuschagne didn't miss. What a shot that is. 1 for 69 to finish the over. 7 runs to win. Labuschagne up to 24 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires.
Good afternoon. An absolutely foul run out of town if you're on the Monash with a broken down truck at Narre-Warren North Road. The left-hand lane is closed with delays crawling all the way back to Eastlink. Delays also remain after a crash on the Westgate inbound before Todd Road and a crash to watch out for in Doncaster East. That's on Blackburn Road between King Street and Reynolds Road with traffic heavy both ways. This March, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. With 24 stores located in Melbourne, they'll look after you. T's and C's apply. That's the latest SEN Sky Traffic.
SEN Test Cricket for Henley Homes, henley.com.au and Tyre Power. Know your tyres. We're seeing a shot up screen, Brett. Must be from your hometown or your adopted hometown, a Port Adelaide jumper. Enjoying his time here. Got Andy Murray and Josh Jenkins taking our calls after we clock off today. Ashwin bowls down, the track goes head, slapping it straight. Another boundary for Blunston. Advances to 48 and takes Australia to within 3 runs of victory, with real authority, using his feet to Ashwin in a way that would have been inconceivable an hour ago.
Australia, you just found yourself a test opener for the future and the present. This is a career-defining innings from Travis Head.
3 to win for Australia. Ashwin bowls to Head, finds the leading edge. They'll get a single. Out towards point it goes. So Head's on 49. The direct hit's a moot point because he's comfortably through. 2 runs to win, which may mean that Head's denied a half century. Not that that will mean anything to him at the moment. He's 49 from 53 balls. He's hit 6 fours and a 6 for Blunston. What a performance. And Marnus Labuschagne has the chance to finish the job. Australia 2 to win.
Reverse sweep.
Ashwin on the way, bowls to Labuschagne round the wicket, dances, hits him on the pad and spills into the onside. He tried to do as Rahane did at Dharamshala 6 years ago and finish it with a 6 over mid-wicket, not to be.
For the glory shot.
Marnus, just knock it into a gap and get a single, mate. There's no need. Ashwin round the wicket. Still 2 to win. Bowls here away from us. Labuschagne gets him behind it, defending to mid-wicket. The captain, Rowett, does the fielding. 2 left in the over.
And Steve Smith, Alistair Cook, the last overseas captain to win 2 tests on Indian soil. Steve Smith will join him very, very quickly.
Ashwin up to Labuschagne, 2 to win, using his feet up and over the top of mid-wicket. He'll seal it with a boundary. He does it with authority. Marnus Labuschagne, 28 not out. Head, 49 not out. Australia win by 9 wickets and a famous victory at that. Only their second win in India since 2004. Only the third time that India have been defeated at home in over a decade. A magnificent performance from the Australians. They were down and out after the disaster of Delhi. They had their chance there and they couldn't take it. Well, here at indoor Bharat Sundaresan, they have made no mistake.
This is one of the most important moments in the history of Australian cricket, and it might sound like I'm really playing this up, but it is not. India do not lose test matches very often in India. And to come back from what they've had to face in Nagpur and Delhi, it says a lot about the character of this team. Pat Cummins would be watching this from Sydney, and he would take a lot of pride in the way his Australian team has performed. Steve Smith, extraordinary as captain. Nathan Lyon, brilliant yesterday. The young spinners have come to the party. And this morning, Travis Head and Marnus Labuschagne have just shown why we all felt this is one of Australia's best chances to win in India, and they won a test match.
Not surprisingly, all eyes on Nathan Lyon on the Aussie balcony. What a performance yesterday, making it possible. 8 for 64, I would say the best he's ever bowled for Australia, just when they needed it. And it was emblematic of the way that the Australian side were able to hold their nerve when India pushed back, as they were always going to on a sporting surface. They did so yesterday in the morning session, in the first hour at least. They did so when batting was impossible late on day one, when Labuschagne batted with Khawaja. They did so yesterday after being bundled out in a collapse of 6 for 11. They walked out and bowled out India in the space of 2 sessions. It was the immaculate fielding of Khawaja and Smith that gave them the opportunity to chase a modest total in 76. Then this morning, absorbing all that pressure from Ashwin, he believed, India believed, but so did Travis Head. All of those dot balls in the first 10 overs, all of that pressure, all of those half chances, only to put the foot down when it mattered and to stick the landing in special style.
Oh, in special style. They held their nerve every time India tried going after them. We saw them panic in Nagpur. We saw them panic in Delhi. They spoke about just being brave, being courageous cricket once they came here to Indore, and that's what they've done. Like you said, Adam, it was difficult batting. It was impossible batting, it felt like, when they had to walk out in the middle of the middle session on day one. And then even yesterday, when Shreyas Iyer went after them, they recovered. They never let India get on top of them, and they kept fighting back. And a great win. This is seriously one of the greatest wins in Australian cricket history.
Yeah, I share that view, certainly in modern history. Bharat Sundaresan, nicely done. I'm going to let you go downstairs and find an Australian player, hopefully the captain, maybe even Nathan Lyon, if you can collar him, Travis Head, whoever you can get, not raising expectations or anything. So a quick call of the card as we have Phil Long with us. Australia win by 9 wickets. They finish as Baz falls over, leaving the box with the scoreboard reading. Would have been 1 for 82, I think. The score's gone off.
78.
1 for 78, my apologies. So Marnus Labuschagne striking his 6th boundary. Travis Head also hit 6 fours and a 6 at such an important time. Head 1 short of the half century, 49 not out from 53 balls. Marnus Labuschagne 28 from 58. They batted throughout after Usman Khawaja was dismissed from the second ball of the chase, caught behind from the bowling of Ashwin for a duck. But from there, an unbeaten 78-run stand, Phil Long. A performance that statistically will stand out in many different categories, given the way that it's finished inside 6.5 sessions, but it's been a lot more than that.
Well, it's been a lot more. I mean, this morning itself is a story of numbers. We mentioned it earlier. 10 overs gone this morning. Australia were 13 for 1. They couldn't find a run. They couldn't buy a run. The ball was changed. I think we might hear possibly something more about that. And in the 8.5...
And just to be clear, they initiated the ball change. It's not, just to be really clear about this, it's not as though there was Joel Wilson and umpire Menon coming together and getting the thing changed. It was India that initiated it, and that, for whatever reason, was the turning point. How often do you see it in Test cricket? Daniel Norcross with me as well here, that when a ball changes, the game changes as well.
And just very quickly, in the 8.5 overs we saw after that, Australia 65 without losing a wicket.
So what's that run? They're going at 8s from that point on, or something like that.
And usually, actually, a ball change has the opposite effect. I remember at Edgbaston when England were definitely on top in that first Ashes test, and I think it was James Pattinson managed to get the ball changed, didn't he? And that suddenly precipitated a collapse as the new ball that came in was swung more. At here, it seemed to result, I don't know, in suspicion of the new ball that came out, obviously the replacement ball that came out, and how the tenor of the day changed was so bizarre. You know, I sat down on commentary after half an hour. 9 overs had gone, Phil. Was it like 13 for 1?
Yep.
And suddenly, 13 came off an Ashwin over. Then, was it 12 off the next over from Jadeja?
Well, at that point when you sat down, Ashwin had the figures 5 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 3. His next 4.5 overs, no maidens, none for 41.
Amazing. Again, to say it's against the flow of play is quite the understatement. I mean, Norkie, when you came on to call, Ashwin still had balls exploding out of the surface. It was a decision from Travis Head, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He made the call that if it's going to be, it's going to be me, and it's going to be now.
Yeah, well, so that was exactly it. And actually, I was sort of waiting for it. I was on with Pete. We were both saying, you know, if you keep on doing this, you keep on just hanging on, there's going to be a ball with your name on it. We've got Travis Head here.
Yeah, let's try and pick up this interview. Stand by. So Ravi Shastri's got him downstairs. Thanks to TV. We'll pick up through stuff, mate.
Keep take it one step at a time. I think we've seen throughout this series with the wickets, the quality of bowling, that anything can happen, and it was just trying to take it, as cliched as it is, one ball at a time, wait for opportunities, and fortunate enough and ready enough to take them when they arose.
Travis Haydos, after that first test, you could just sense the disappointment of not getting in that playing 11, and now you've come out with great fire. 6 must feel great.
Yeah, it's just nice to contribute. Not everything goes your way, and it's never always going to be clear sailing. So nice to just stay prepared. Coaching staff and the players and the vibe that we've created, it has meant that, I can just get on with the job and make sure when that chance comes that I was ready enough to take it.
You were TKO after the Delhi Test match. What was the unit as a whole looking to achieve? And even when you first arrived here, it was another dust bowl and you lost the toss. What was the mindset? What's the shift in thinking?
Well, make sure we go out and execute as best we can in the first innings. I thought we did that exceptionally well. And I think, obviously, the lead up into the Test match, when things aren't going your way, I think we drew back really well to Sri Lanka and Pakistan and the plans that we had set in those conditions, and coming here and making sure we're really clear about them. Obviously, there was some shift in thinking and what we want to do and achieve, and everyone does that individually, but then to make sure that once we come to the toss and it didn't go our way and we executed exceptionally well, and then we got the opportunity to bat, I thought we did a fantastic job to come back from what's been, I guess, some pressure over the first 2 tests.
You lost a wicket second ball of the day, and then the partnership with Manas. What was the chat between you two, tactically, on how to take on being in attack?
Yeah, just taking it one step at a time. We knew that there was going to be good balls. I guess it wasn't going to be clear sailing. We knew that there was going to be times where India felt like they were on top. There'll be opportunities for us to score runs, and unfortunate fuzzy, but those things happen. And I guess you come to expect a small total with the wicket doing what it did and the pressure. But for us, it was just taking a step at a time, just staying really calm and consistent in our plans and making sure we backed them, and knowing that it was going to be more difficult for the guy coming in than it was going to be for us out in the middle. So once we got in, trying to make the most of that opportunity.
We believe we're master interpreters up here, but after the ball was changed, was there a message that came out?
To us?
To you fellas, yeah?
No.
It was an unusually subdued start for you. You usually just get a giddy up straight from the get-go.
Difficult when you're facing one of the best bowlers in the world, and for me it was just about making sure I was set, making sure I was taking the right opportunities, and knowing that if I was back in the sheds, it was going to be tough for the next bloke to come out and start. So it worked that way. It was no messaging coming out. For us, it was just about making sure we kept a calm head and put bad balls that we thought were under pressure to score.
What about the young fox? Devin Lane keeps going, doesn't he?
Unbelievable in all conditions. I guess the bounce in Australia is what he's key at, and he comes here and probably under a little bit of pressure on the first test. So there was a few people criticising a few different things, but look, he does what he does. He's got the most wickets in the subcontinent for Australia for a reason. He's an unbelievable bowler, and long may it continue.
Well done, Travis. Great to see you getting that ball from the southern hemisphere into the northern hemisphere. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, Travis said the man of the moment, 49 not out. Great point in the first question from Ravi Shastri there. He wasn't in the test side a couple of weeks ago at Nagpur, overlooked in favour of, principally Matt Renshaw, who was taken here more as a spin specialist on the basis of Head's troubles in Asia last year in Pakistan and Sri Lanka. He was filthy. He said as much. He said he provided robust feedback to the selection panel before the Delhi Test match when he was recalled. In to open the batting here with David Warner out injured. what an advertisement for what Travis Head can be in all seasons.
Don't overthink. Do not overthink. England spent years overthinking, won one game in 17. Travis Head scores mountains of runs for Australia at the moment. He's in terrific form. Pick your best players. It doesn't matter what surface you're on, because he will find a way. And he found a way brilliantly today. I was concerned that he was getting stuck and becalmed, but then he just hit the accelerator, took all the pressure out, and it makes the Renshaw selection look, I mean, well, no disrespect to Matt Renshaw, but frankly, crazy, doesn't it?
Yes, 1 in 17. That's what Australia had in India before today, and what England had when Ben Stokes took over, and we saw the fortunes change there. We're going to take a break here on SEN Test Cricket for Henley Holmes and for Tyre Power. Australia victorious by 9 wickets. On the other side of it, the presentation.
AFL, NRL, F1 live in 4K Ultra HD, only on Foxtel.
Up to Labuschagne, 2 to win, using his feet up and over the top of mid-wicket. He'll seal it with a boundary. He does it with authority. Marnus Labuschagne, 28 not out. Head, 49 not out. Australia win by 9 wickets and a famous victory at that. Only their second win in India since 2004. Only the third time that India have been defeated at home in over a decade. A magnificent performance from the Australians. SEN Test Cricket for Henley Holmes by Henley, completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au, and for Tyre Power, know your tyres. And that was the moment where Australia won here at Indoor by 9 wickets, an unbeaten stand of 78 between Travis Head and Marnus Labuschagne. There was a wobble at the start. There was always going to be. Usman Khawaja caught behind from the bowling of Ravi and Ashwin. The first half an hour was absorbing stuff, as we expected. Balls exploding through the surface, beating the outside edge, hitting the protective equipment, going all over the place. But then Travis Head made his mind up. He was going to go for it. And go for it he did, striking 6 boundaries and 1 towering 6 over wide long on. And that was the damage done. Australia getting it finished in 18.5 overs. Head 49 not out from 53 deliveries. Labuschagne 28 not out from 58 balls. Ashwin 1 for 44 from 9.5. Jadeja none for 23 from 7. Umesh Yadav none for 10. And we're about to take the presentation.
Yeah, what a resounding comeback by Australia to take this third test match by 9 wickets. Good afternoon all. Welcome to the post-match presentation. But before I kickstart that, BCCI would like to thank all the sponsors of the MasterCard India versus Australia Test Series. MasterCard, Byju's, Killer, Dream 11, Ambuja Cement and Hyundai. BCCI would also like to thank the State Association, the local authorities and all those who are involved in the smooth conduct of this match. The presentation party to my left, Mr. Sanjeev Rao, Honorary Secretary, Madhya Pradesh Cricket Association. Mr. Nitin Sharma, Regional Sales Manager, Madhya Pradesh, Ambuja Cement. Mr. Ankush Chaudhary, Dream 11 Game Changer fan. Mr. Rajat Maheshwari, Vice President, Production Management, MasterCard. May I now invite Rohit Sharma over for a chat, please. Rohit, tough luck on the result. What would you put that down to? Lack of first innings runs?
Yeah, when you lose a test match, there's a lot of things which didn't go our way. Obviously, to start with, obviously we didn't bat it well in the first innings. We understand how important it is, to put runs on the board in the first innings. And then, when they got 90 runs lead, obviously we had to produce another innings with the bat, but we were not able to do that again. We got just 75 runs on the board. But again, if you bat well in the first innings, things would have been slightly different.
The tracks have been tough to bat on. Maybe this was the toughest of them all. What would be your game plan going into Ahmedabad, also keeping in view the World Test Championship?
I mean, honestly, we haven't thought about it yet. We just finished the test match now. We have some time to think about what we need to do there. We need to regroup and try and understand what we did right in the first 2 test matches as well. We need to understand, no matter what the pitches are, you've got to come out and do your job, as simple as that. We want to keep things really simple and, follow the plans.
You mentioned that you had to regroup. What do you think right now? I know the test match is just finished. The things which you feel that the team has to improve in spite of being 2-1 up?
I mean, look, when you're playing on challenges pitches, you've got to be brave. Honestly, I just felt, we allowed their bowlers to bowl on one particular spot, not taking any credit away from, their bowlers, especially Nathan Lyon. He was brilliant. He kept challenging us, hitting that right length. So yeah, when the bowler is trying to do that, you got to come out with your plans and try and do different things. Try and be a little brave as well, which I thought we were not. So things happen like that. But we can take a lot of credit as well how we batted in the first two games. One odd game can happen like that where things are not falling in place together. But it's all about everyone coming together and chipping in with whatever they can. And this game was all about that. We wanted few guys to stand up and put their hand up and take the team through, but it didn't happen. And you cannot expect every game that the way things should happen will always happen. You will falter in your plans, and that is exactly what happened in this game. We were not, we were slightly behind, and we didn't adapt as we would have liked to.
Appreciate the chat. See you at Ahmedabad.
Cheers, thanks.
Indian captain Rohit Sharma. Now on to the awards. The first one being the Ambuja Strongest Performer of the Match Award. Mr. Nitin Sharma will be presenting a trophy and a cheque of rupees 1 lakh. And it goes to Cheteshwar Pujara for hitting the longest six. That's an award which Cheteshwar Pujara will cherish. The next one is the Dream 11 Game Changer of the Match Award. The winner will get a trophy and a cheque of rupees 1 lakh to be presented by Mr. Ankush Chaudhary, and it goes to Usman Khwaja for his first innings run, 60 of 147 deliveries, and a brilliant catch at mid-wicket to dismiss Shreyas Iyer. They're one of the reasons why Australia got a good lead. May I now request the Australian captain, Steve Smith, over for a chat, please. Steve, many congratulations after being 2-0 down. Such a strong performance. What would you attribute that to?
Well, everything. I think we, obviously that first day, losing the toss, having to bowl first. I don't know, our bowlers just got the ball in the right areas, put India under pressure, and we took wickets. I thought Kuhneman was really good that first day. All of our bowlers contributed together and bowled in partnerships. First innings of batting, I thought Usman was outstanding. The way he played was just amazing. He's been really good for us throughout this series. Who else was there? There's a few partnerships there as well with Marnus. I think that partnership really set us up to get ahead of the game. And then yesterday, India obviously fought back with the ball. We had a bit of a collapse at the back end. Umesh bowled really nicely. And then yesterday, I thought we had to toil really hard. I thought Pooji played an outstanding innings and had a few guys batting around him, but we really stuck at it. Nathan got all the rewards with 8 wickets, but I think our bowlers as a collective were really good. Murphy went at a run and over for 17 overs or thereabouts, so kept really good pressure on. Starkey came in and got a breakthrough, and Cooney got the big wicket, obviously, of Virat as well. So, no, it was a complete performance in the end.
Personally for you, coming back as a captain with the chips being down, how did that feel? Everyone up in the comm box and even otherwise thought that the kind of moves you made were spot on.
I appreciate that. No, look, obviously, we're thinking of Paddy back home. He's had to go home, so our thoughts are with him. But yeah, look, I really enjoyed this week. I like captaining in this part of the world. I feel like I understand the conditions really well and the intricacies of the game that need to happen, ball in and ball out. I think there's an event every ball, and what happens that ball can dictate what happens the ball after. So it's a lot different to other parts of the world. So no, it's a place I really enjoyed, and yeah, I think I did a reasonable job this week.
Yeah, and for you, just getting the information that with that victory, you guys have clinched one berth for the WTC final. What would the approach be going into Ahmedabad?
I think much the same. Obviously, we'll wait and see what the conditions are like. But no, we're really proud to have Yeah, like you said, clinched a spot in the World Test Championship in a couple of months' time. But for us, it's just about playing really good cricket. The way we've fought back here and played our style for longer periods of time than we perhaps did in the first 2 Test matches. Hopefully we can put up a similar performance and finish the series really well.
Yeah, many congratulations, mate. Take care.
Thanks, Murali.
See you at Ahmedabad. Yeah, the Australian captain, Steve Smith. And finally, it's the MasterCard player of the match. And no surprises here. For a brilliant bowling performance, it's Nathan Lyon who will receive a prize money of rupees 1 lakh along with a trophy from Mr. Rajat Maheshwari. 11 for in the game, 3 for 35 and 8 for 64. Outstanding bowling from one of the world's premier bowlers. Right, we had a chat with you this morning, but once again, just a terrific performance, given what the situation was in the Test series.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's been a pretty remarkable Test series, but to come out here and put a really good team performance in, that's something that I'm very proud about, and to get the boys to get their one down today was, yeah, pretty special.
Yeah, as a former spinner, just looking at you bowl over the years, I just feel that the simplicity and the repeatability of your action has been intact. Do you view it the same way as well?
Yeah, 100%. I don't have all the skills and all the tricks in the trade, but one thing I do have is belief in my stock ball, and I think that's probably the biggest thing in world cricket. If you believe in your best ball over and over, and if you're able to challenge the best players in the world for long periods of time, then hopefully you'll have success.
And generally, when you talk about overseas spinners coming into India, it's one of the biggest challenges, bowling to Indian batters. But you seem to have mastered it in India and in Australia. The highest number of wickets against India, 113 to be precise. That's just an outstanding number.
Yeah, well, thank you, but I don't think I've mastered it. I think I've been lucky enough to challenge against some of the best players to play the game in the likes of Virat and Pujara and the rest of the guys. So I just love challenging myself at this level and, yeah, get a big thrill out of that.
Thanks a lot for your time and really well bowled once again.
Thanks, mate.
Nathan Lyon, man of the match for his outstanding performance. We're heading into Ahmedabad with the scoreline being 2-1.
Thank you to television and the BCCI for picking up the presentation there. Nathan Lyon, man of the match, 11 for 99, his figures from 34.5 overs across the match. 8 for 64 yesterday. I can't remember a time he's bowled better than that. Just when they needed him to step up, he did precisely that. I neglected to mention, Daniel, that, of course, this qualifies Australia for the World Test Championship final at your home ground, the Oval, on June the 7th, and they missed out by the barest of margins back in 2021 due to overrates. So they won't miss out this time. They booked their spot, probably against India. It would be unlikely for Sri Lanka to get there. But India, now to secure their berth, need to win next week at Ahmedabad. It presents an extra element when you consider what pitch we might see there.
It does, and I don't really know which way they're going to go, you know, because often India gets a little spooked by a loss. You saw it actually when they lost to England in the first test at Chennai a couple of years back.
Yes.
And they suddenly went to snake pits like that, and it worked. I wonder, we've just had a snake pit, and it's not worked. So there's every chance they might go in a completely opposite direction, because they're very reactive, the Indian authorities, to defeat, and they take it really badly as well. I mean, make no bones about it, this is such a rare loss for them, and Bharat was talking about it. This is an amazing achievement for Australia, not just because of the win, but because of the nature of the first 2 losses, and because of the impregnability of India at home. So, look, when we get to Ahmedabad, we'll just have to wait and see. Every pitch has been much the same, hasn't it? It's been green in the middle, and there have been these shaven, dusty patches about 3 or 4 meters from the crease on each pitch. Will they go the same way? I don't know. They'll be inspired, of course, because Modi will be there.
It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be quite the event, day one at Ahmedabad next week. Phil, before we move away from what's happened at indoor, your parting thoughts as far as the numbers and the stats are concerned?
Well, I just had a quick look there. I was watching the players shake hands. I thought a few of these Indian players won't have felt that very often. Ravi Jadeja, 39 test matches at home. It's only the 2nd time he's tasted defeat.
Wow. What is it? I think that's the 3rd in 45 since England won here in 2012, or something ridiculous like that. It speaks volumes about how dominant they've been at home, and Australia coming into this, one of their last 17 in India, put some perspective around the achievement, Phil.
Yeah, and just looking at the longer term picture, only Australia's 14th test win in India ever. It's difficult to win here.
All right, boys, that's our cue to wrap up here at Indoor. You can catch our interview with, I think, Travis Head. Bharat Sundaresan was catching downstairs. I'm trying to get a sense. I think he's got Marnus as well, possibly. Either way, you can get that all on the SEN podcast feed, on the socials as well, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. It'll all be there. Bharat Sundaresan with the Australian players after their storming victory here at Indoor by 9 wickets. After the break, you can speak to Andy Marr and Josh Jenkins. We're opening up Talkback, 1300 736 736, or send it a text 0433 98 11 16 to have your say about Australia's famous victory here at Indoor. Our great thanks to our support in Melbourne. John Donahoe, Mitch Scott, Alex Patterson have been absolutely outstanding. It's harder than it sounds getting a broadcast to air here in India, and we need all of that support from Melbourne. From our commentary team, myself, Daniel Norcross, Phil Long, Bharat Sundaresan, Ravi Shastri, Louis Cameron and Pete Lawler. We bid you farewell from Indoor, where Australia have registered a victory they will talk about for such a long time, winning by 9 wickets.